Hello and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Now I've got a very different kind of video for you all today because what it is the most recent collaboration that I've done with the amazing Cobra Stacker. Now this video was obviously filmed live, so please bear with us if the audio and video quality isn't quite as high as a usual video. Obviously that is one of the problems with filming live. But it's a very fun and quite long podcast style conversation where we have a good old chat and basically just put the world to rights. So with that being the case, and without any further delay, let's get on with the show. Hello and a very warm welcome back to the channel. And I'm very happy to say I'm joined this evening with the amazing and wonderful Cobra Stacker. So Cobra, how are you today, mate? You having a good time?
I'm good, thank you very much, Stack Collector. That was a very nice introduction saying that I'm amazing. I think that's going a bit far, but thank you. And for anyone who's joined us immediately, thank you very much. And Stack Collector, thank you so much for inviting me on. Yeah, I'm doing well.
That's brilliant. Great to hear that, mate. Great to hear that. So, yeah, I'm loving your backdrop at the moment, mate. We've got a massive dragon theme going off there. Obviously, we've got the new dragon.
Sorry,
One second. Massive dragon theme going off there. Obviously, we've got the new dragon. Sorry,
one second, I'm sorry. Right,
How you doing, buddy? Yeah. Did you forget to mute something in the background? we are live, guys. How are we doing? We've got Future Investments and Lee Parola both in the comment section. How are we doing, guys? You okay? And Cobra, I'm glad we got the audio sorted there, mate. Don't worry about that. We were just saying, Future just mentioned both backdrops looks fabulous, Dragon Overload, and I was just saying myself, Future, how amazing all the dragons look on Cobra's set there.
I'll tell you what, they do both look amazing, both sets, and thank you, Future, for saying that. I don't know why I'm right into the dragons at the moment. I have ordered so many more, and then these pieces were coming up, which I found they're actually Harry Potter pieces, to tell the truth, but they are an immense collection. They've got some beautiful pieces. So yeah, the dragons are out in force.
Yes, no, brilliant. And I endorse both Dragons and Harry Potter, so that's absolutely fine. You may have seen from the channel, I have collected all of the Harry Potter series in the 50p's.
Yeah, I got them. I think they came out in 1 ounces, isn't it, as well?
They did. I kicked myself because on the Harry Potters, I only went with the 50p silver proofs and the brilliant uncirculated 50p's, and I do wish I'd got the 1 ounce silvers as well. So that's why on the Star Wars I've got both 50p and the 1 ounces.
Yeah, I got them on the 1 ounces. I didn't get the 50p's, but I actually got them for Mrs. Cobra Stacker. So I don't see them anymore. She's got them all.
Oh wow, is Mrs. Cobra Stacker the biggest Star Wars fan then?
No, the Harry Potters.
Oh, the Harry Potters. I get. Oh, sorry, I get what you mean there. Yeah, absolutely. Which one? Which one was her favourite? I think Hogwarts was my favourite, one with the castle on it.
I've got no clue. I just felt real grief when I was passing them over, so I didn't ask.
That's brilliant.
Another one. She was like, "Oh, thank you."
That's brilliant. Well, at least you got you in the good books for a day. I'm just seeing in the comments, future investment support. I take it both you like Game of Thrones. I mean, I absolutely love Game of Thrones. The books and the show. How about yourself, Cobra?
I've got to be very honest. I watched them all the way through, and then I think it was the last season, or maybe the second from last season. I got busy with work, and I have not watched them yet. Can you believe that? But I watched the whole lot, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of an ending on it, wasn't it? So no, I can't believe you've not had a chance to catch the final couple of seasons there. But yeah, no, definitely get on that. I mean, definitely mixed reviews on the final series, and especially for myself. I mean, if I give you my review on that final series without giving you any spoilers, it was I felt like they rushed it. They could have taken more time to put more detail in the series. So you're not missing too much. It wasn't as good as maybe the rest of the show in the beginning.
Well, that's exactly what Future Investments has just said. He goes, love the Game of Thrones, but in my opinion, they rushed the final season. And I was left disappointed. No spoilers, though, as Cobra hasn't seen it. So he said literally what you said word for word.
Literally the exact same thing. He's popped in the chat as I was saying it, and I've just seen Lee's put. I'd love a flag with a dragon on it. Hee hee. That's because Lee is one of our Welsh viewers, and of course we have the Welsh flag with the Welsh dragon on it.
Ah, Lee, did you see the coin of the Welsh dragons that I put out on the Dragon series video that I did?
Now I saw that. It made me think of Lee, and I actually thought it was one of my favourite two dragons. Now it was that one of the Norse one. They were both quite similar. And I thought they just reminded me of Tiamat out of Dungeons and Dragons.
Hang on, let me move this, and I should be able to show you. I think that's the Welsh there.
That looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the comments to get out of the way. But hey, CPM and both Cyber Soundman have joined us in the chat. Guys, it's amazing to have you both here. How are you both doing? We've got future advancements. TSC, I love seeing your silver and gold bullion stack increasing. I know you're more of a coin collector, so it's a special seeing your investing bullion. Yes, I personally I try and find like different kinds of bullion. Like you've got Robin Hood right here from the Nui series. That's silver bullion, but it's antiqued. And I get all the myths and legends coins, and I've got the coronation bullions as well. So I try and find ways to get bullion in a way that's still kind of collecting as well, which helps me do it a lot. But I see you're a bit of a stacker and collector yourself, aren't you, Kirby? You like to get interesting pieces. I see you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I am anymore, to tell the truth, bro. I started off, and this is the truth, I started off going, yep, I'm going to be a stacker. I'm going to stack for weight. That's what I'm doing. I've got my reasons. That's it. And I started stacking, and it immediately turned into getting a few really nice pieces. And then someone actually commented on my channel and said, you're not a stacker, you're a collector. But the way he put it across was very sort of aggressive, like he was angry. And I sort of said, look, what are you getting so angry about? I am a stacker. I just picked up a couple of pieces. Um, and it got to a point where he unsubbed me because
Oh
he
dear.
was so angry with me for not admitting that I was a collector as well. And then it was only as time passed and I kept on grabbing this, that, and the other, whatever I wanted, that I actually realised, even though he came across really upset about it and all that, but he was actually right. You know, I can't remember his name, but if he ever does see me, you were right. I am a stacker collector. And yes, I mean, I also said to myself, I wouldn't pick up proofs because, you know, I'm not really into that. I don't need the proofs and they're too expensive. And I'll just stay with bullion, even if I do collect some nice pieces. And yet I have also picked up one hell of a lot of proof as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, to me, there definitely is a difference, but also very much of an overlap as well at times. Now, I think you can be a hardcore stacker, you can be a hardcore collector, but I think most people like kind of somewhere in the middle of the Venn diagram of stacking and collecting, where it's, it makes things different, isn't it? When you can get different types of bullying, like the Kookaburra series or the Dragon series you've got, or the Myth and Legend series from the Royal Mint. And it gives you something to work towards when you've got series that you can complete, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, this is the other thing. Just before we carry on with that, I just want to ask Future. He's put Cobra's audio is much nicer when he's
Yeah,
close to
and
the camera.
it's okay, it's okay, Kobe. Put another comment saying it's much better now, buddy.
All right, so I've got a mic, and if I move away to move the camera, then yeah, that causes a problem. Also, I want to say a quick hello to CPM. But what you were saying about having a collectible type thing, you know, series, is absolutely correct. But I've also found I have backstacked a lot, and when I say backstack, it means like the Queen's Beast. It was well
Hmm.
finished by the time I came along into the scene, and I really wanted it, and so I backstack. And you've got to remember how much extra that costs to do that when you're looking
Yeah,
for really early ones that came out. But in the same token, when I completed the Queen's Beast, I was over the moon. And I got them all in silver 2 ounce, and I got a few 10 ounces, and I got the completers in kilo as well. And I am actually going for the gold 1 ounces at the moment. And I think I've got 7 of them. So I'm trying to complete that. So yeah, it's definitely having a series. I love getting the series, and I think you'll all see it on the premiere where I do the full stack reveal, and you'll see the amount of collections I've got there.
Yes, I am so looking forward to this, Cobra. Now, if you weren't aware, Cobra is doing a premiere on Tuesday evening. Is it, Cobra, that you're doing it?
Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock. Yes, British Media.
Brilliant. Yes, so we've got Cobra doing it's I think it's his first premiere on 8 o'clock Tuesday, showing his full stack. But not only that, he is also giving people a chance to win one of these absolutely incredible Cobra Stacker channel rounds. Now, to be in with your chance to win one of these rounds, what you will need to do is join alongside Cobra and me and many other great creators, because he's going to be running the giveaway in the live Premier chat, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Cobra?
To give away what? Sorry.
The Cobra round.
Yes, so it will be on the actual live premiere. And when you start watching it, there'll be something in there will tell you at the beginning of it pretty much what you've got to do. And then by the end of it, when you have to make a certain comment or do something, it will be the first one who does that. I can't say too much, but yes, you
No.
will win it on the actual premiere. So you've got to be in the premiere to actually win it.
Yes.
We've had Senator Georgie join us, and it's a real pleasure to see you, Senator Georgie. I do watch your videos and really enjoy them, and I'm going to send you a little message because I need to have a little chat to you about something. So there you go.
Yes, hello, Centre Georgia. Now, Centre Georgia, as Cobra said, has got an amazing channel. It's a channel I watch and I'm not even regularly. I watch his channel religiously. I watch every single one of his videos. He's got an incredible stack class slash collection, and he's a very serious collector as well. He's got some very lovely graded and slab coins, and he's got just a channel that I highly recommend if anyone hasn't checked out Centre George's channel as of yet. Just want to go back to a couple of previous comments from Lee Perot, because you asked if he'd seen the Welsh Dragon coin, and he's confirmed he has seen that, and he's also responded to what we were saying about slacking collectors, saying that you're a stacker of collectibles, my friend, and I think that sounds quite fair.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm just looking at the chats, but it seems most of it's just people chatting amongst themselves, which is absolutely brilliant to see. So yes, Cobra. Now going back to the dragons, because we do have, like Future said, a massive dragon team here. I'm interested to know which is your favourite out of the. Well, in fact, I probably don't need to ask, but just continue the question. Which one is your favourite out of the dragon rounds that you've recently picked up?
To be honest, it's got to be for me. It's got to be the Egyptian, and the reason I
Yes,
say that, I love the hood on it
yeah,
because it is reminiscent of a cobra.
yeah.
With the spikes coming out. In fact, that's the second and third away from the Taj Mahal one. So I really like the Egyptian. I mean, I love all dragons, but I think the Egyptian was very different, and I did like that. I always love a Chinese dragon as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's cool. No, I thought that because I was halfway through asking the question when I looked down on the screen and I saw the Egyptian dragon sat right there in front. I thought, yeah, it's basically a cobra, so
Yeah,
it's got to be that one for you, hasn't it? Gary Crawford's just joined us, so I just want to say hi to Gary. And Senator George says, "Oh, thanks, guys, appreciate the support. You both have great channels too, and thank you very much, George. That means a lot to me, mate. That's great. I can definitely confirm you're right about Cobra's channel. He has got an amazing channel."
and I saw from Side of Sandman he was on Silver Forum having a little binge on there, which is very interesting because I've said it so many times. The Silver Forum is an absolutely amazing place to buy stuff at a really, really good price. And I've been saying it to Creative Precious Metals as well, to have a look on there and go on there and see if he can find what he wants. But yeah, sorry, I mean, you're absolutely right. The Silver Forum, brilliant. Did you pick anything up?
And just to add to that, Cobra, we were speaking about the silver forum with ourselves on the phone the other day, weren't we? And I was saying to you that I absolutely need to get myself on the silver forum. I have no idea why I'm not on there. It makes no sense at all. So, yeah, no, absolutely. Silver forum is a great place to just chat with like-minded people who are into silver, or look to pick up a few pieces here and there. Size said he's come to the conclusion that we are all hoarders. It's buying silver makes it more acceptable to others and to ourselves, I think, Si. But yeah, I think there's an element of truth to that. What do you think, Cobra?
Yeah, no, 100%. We are hoarders in one way or another. Um, I mean, who was it? There was someone who was watching my videos today, right from the very first one, and then he started commenting on them, and it made me watch my first video, and I was in shock. One about the sound quality and everything else, because that was a
Yeah,
totally different matter. I mean, it was terrible, but it was really good to watch them to see how I've developed in my silver and gold stacking as well. And saying that about the silver forum, you can buy gold on there as well. Silver, gold, old coins, new coins, proofs, everything. Um, but yeah, I started watching these really old ones that I had done. I just watched a couple of them. And I thought, you know what, it will be very good for me to rewatch all my videos, to watch my own journey and see where I've gone with it.
yeah. No, that's 100% right, and it's the only reason I've kept my original videos up because I there's a point in my channel where things changed. With and more so with me on the camera, and I know exactly which video it was because I watched that video back after making it and editing it, and there was a cut. There was like three cuts in every single sentence. It was nearly unwatchable, and I decided on that video that I wasn't going to do that anymore. I was going to take more time in recording that, and if I made mistakes, I wasn't just going to carry on with the same sentence. I'd go back and restart the whole thing over again. And I think I definitely think I've become a lot more confident on camera recently, um, which it makes it a lot easier for me. Myself personally, I never struggled with the editing or anything like that. It was sitting down on camera, and being able to talk for a while that I struggled with. I don't know about yourself. What about you, Cobra?
Well, with me, I mean, I'm really good at public speaking. I ran pubs for many years, and so I can speak in front of a crowd. And working in security as well, I've got no problem with that. But what I found was when I do my videos, there's a lot of and even now I do it all the time. But like when I'm talking to you here, because I'm talking to someone, there's no, I mean, an R in, it's just straight, bang, 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 we're chatting and there's no sort of problem. But I still have that problem when I'm making videos of, and that is a terrible side of it, which I need to sort out, I suppose. There's a couple of comments here. So Sai turned round and said that he's been picking up the dragons, a few dragon
Yeah,
bars. So I know probably who he's been getting them off because he's got quite a lot on there and at a really good price, I must say. If you buy them in the tubes, you're getting them at a great price at the moment on Silver Forum. Um, and Precious Metals, any updates on
yeah.
the coin show and TSC's 24 hours? So let's start with your 24-hour.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's 100% definitely happening. Um, I've got to be realistic with myself about when it's going to be happening because um, with everything I've got going on at the moment, I said well I mentioned maybe towards the end of August previously, but we're already in August and I just know if I say end of August, time's going to fly by, things are going to happen. I'm not going to get things sorted, and it's going to come and go without me being on top of it. So, yeah, I pretty much decided on the cause what I'm looking to do it for. I need people like Cobra has done and Creative Person Metals to volunteer to come and do um, time on camera with me. That's kind of on me. I need to put a calendar well a rota together as it was with blocks to fill for people because what I want to do if possible I'd like to do it as kind of like a mini comic relief where you've got me as the host of it going through the whole 24 hours but from here and there we'll get people coming on and doing hopefully live versions of videos maybe or just coming on for a chat or doing whatever you think you can do to contribute that's maybe a little bit different because it's going to be for charity and I need to set up a GoFundMe So we've got a pool of money that can just go, like whatever goes into that is going to get donated to that charity. So there's a lot of behind the scenes kind of paperwork that's involved in doing something like this. It's not as easy as it sounds. So it is something I'm going to be doing very soon, as soon as possible. And yeah, just bear with me. I'll keep updating people as much as I can, as and when I can. But to answer your question, Cyber Sam, and yes, I'm going to be doing a 24-hour live stream in well to raise money for charity. So yes, that's something that's going to be happening soon. Regarding the coin show, Cobra, what's the updates with that, buddy?
Well, here's where I am with it. At the moment, the way I'm seeing things is there's going to be a few people coming down. I know Gold Digger Dave will be there. What did Future Investments say? What are you saying, brother? Are you coming along or not? Creative Precious Metals is coming along, but he won't stay too long afterwards. He needs to go off to do some things. So all I want to work out is, are we going to sort of meet up, do the show, and then go and have a dinner and just a little drink, and then that'll be it, and we're not staying in hotels down there? Or are there enough people who are happy to get together and have a really good drink, good laugh and a good chat and stay overnight or whatever? So that's the only side I've got to establish. The actual date, again, it's the 2nd of September. The show opens at 9:30 in the morning. I will post an address, and I'm sure you can put a post in the description saying the address and all that sort of stuff. So we'd probably meet up at 9 o'clock, link up with everyone, then we all go into the show, go our separate ways or stick together a little bit, look around, meet for lunch, and then meet afterwards and go for a little drink. So really what my question is to everyone who may get hold of me is, are you wanting to stay overnight, or are we just going to have a little drink and maybe a dinner somewhere, and then we'll all part ways that evening?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I just want to say, do get at either myself or Cobra regarding this, because we need to know. So if you are thinking and you may be up for that, then either contact myself or Cobra by email. Let us know. Silver Stacker's turned up, so I just want to say hey to the Silver
Yeah,
Stacker.
hello, Silver Stacker.
Just to let you know where I am, Cobra, and I have actually been meaning to bring this up with you. Obviously, I'm coming down to meet you. I'm going to stay for something to eat and for a good while afterwards. With myself not being a drinker, though, I am going to drive home.
Yeah,
I'd rather drive home and get in my own bed than stay in a hotel. But I'll stay fairly late while everyone else has a drink and
fair enough.
socialise with everyone.
Well, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to stay as late as anyone wants to stay, and then I think I'll just decide for myself whether I'm going to stay in a hotel or not. I mean, I'm in and out of London quite a bit, so it's not too hard for me to sort something out. But yeah, I'm willing to stay as late or as early as anyone,
Yeah,
make it happen. There's no pressure on anyone for that. It's come and go as you please. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good day, and I'm really looking forward to meeting quite a few people face to face.
yeah, no, absolutely. And perhaps the best idea is then just to say we'll meet at the coin show, we'll have food, drinks afterwards, and then there's a possibility that if anyone wants to find a cheap hotel or travel lodge or something, you stay overnight or something, or whatever you guys need to do if whoever's drinking, and we'll take it from there on the day.
Sounds good. Definitely sounds
Brilliant,
good.
brilliant.
Uh,
So, coin show. What time are you planning to get there for? Because I know it starts about 9 a.m., doesn't it?
it starts at 9:30. I will be there at 9 o'clock outside the coin fair. And guys, a really easy way for you to recognise me. I mean, it's really easy. I am the biggest Indian you have ever seen in your life. All right, and if you just keep that in mind, you will not miss me. I will be dressed all in black. I'll be dressed all in black, and I'm the biggest Indian you have ever seen in your life. Keep that in mind. You cannot miss me. Blatantly, you can come up and go, Cobra Stacker, and I go, yeah, just like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's not lying, guys. Cobra is an absolute unit. I mean, he's a man mountain. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I saw those videos of you with the guns when you were fighting about the chopper, etc. And yeah, you were a big chap.
That was, yeah. I mean, that's the way. If you're not sure, I'll tell you what. You can recognise me from the back of the head, and I'm going to tell you a very funny story in a minute. But you can recognise me from the back of my head from a video I did. What was it? Maybe 4 or 5 videos ago. Um, and it was about the bullets, and it says Silver Sniper, something like that. So if you look at that video, you'll see a little shot of me here and there from the back of my head. But I will tell you a very, very funny story about the back of my head. So, who of you has seen Ed Sheeran in a film called Yesterday? Have you seen that one?
I don't believe so. It doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, so Ed Sheeran did a film with another guy, and it was called Yesterday. It's a really funny film about the Beatles and an Indian guy who forgot who the Beatles, or the world forgot who the Beatles were.
Oh, I remember the trailer. It's a few years back, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
I never. I remember seeing the trailer and thinking that looks all right actually, but I never watched it.
great film. Great film. You'd really enjoy that. GNS Metals says, hey all. Hello, GNS Metals. Thank you, Brad, for joining us. So anyway, I was looking after Ed Sheeran on that set when they were filming, and at one point we had, I think it was about 300 or 400 extras in a big crowd of a nightclub scene. So what they said to us was there was four of us on that scene, security, and they said, "Look, we need you in the pit, which is the front of the stage, and Ed Sheeran and this other guy are going to be on stage, and it's just so that no one runs up and jumps on stage because Ed Sheeran's so famous, and even though they know her in the film, someone might get a bit excited."
Yeah.
So I said, "Yeah, cool, we'll get the boys in there, no problem at all." And they said, "You might be on the film, in the film," and I said, "Yeah, that's fine. We're not silly, we don't get excited about all that." No problem. So we did the whole filming, everything else, and then maybe 6 months later, the film came out in the cinema. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to go to the cinema and see it and see if I'm in it. And the scene came up where it was a Russian nightclub scene, and you've got this massive crowd there, and there's Ed Sheeran and this other guy singing up on the stage. And lo and behold, there was me in the film. It was a clip
Oh,
of about a
nice.
second and a half, and it was just the back of my head. And big bouncery type guys have got these little rolls in the back of their head.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all you saw. The rolls in the back of my head.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's
I'm
my
watching.
claim to fame of being in the cinema on a film, and it was just the rolls on the back of my head.
Oh, that is amazing. That's amazing. I just wanted very quickly to say we've got KW and G and S Metals in the chat. Hi guys, amazing to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us. But no, that's an amazing claim to fame. I'm gonna go out and watch that film just to see the back of your head because
You'll
I'll
recognise the rolls straight away. Now I've told you,
yeah.
you'll know exactly what, but because they actually enlarged it as well. Which was highly embarrassing for me. And it was like, really, did you have to do that? Was there a real reason to do that?
I love it. I absolutely love that. That's brilliant. And what a claim to fame. And yeah, if anyone didn't know, you've got Cobra Stack has got his own security business, and part of that is doing like security and sometimes bodyguard working for actors and celebrities, isn't it, Cobra?
That's right. So basically, we've got a firm. We do a lot of normal security, event security, and all that sort of man guarding, dog handling. And we have a section of us which are close protection, which is the bodyguarding side, and we take care of celebrities. So there you go. There's a bit of history.
No, that's cool. And I know we get really modest about this, but don't be because it's really cool, and we do actually want to hear about it, Cobra.
I think it was more so in the comments. When I'm talking to you, I don't mind talking, but when there was comments, and I think you asked me something, and I had to say, "Oh yeah, I'm a bodyguard" and all that sort of stuff, and I felt really embarrassed because I felt like it was coming across like I was trying to show off, and it really isn't. I was just sort of telling you
Yeah.
what it was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And
You're just sticking to the facts.
yeah, and I rang you up or I chatted to you and I said, "Look, bro, I just felt really awkward with that because I don't want to sound like I'm showing off. I'm a decent geezer and I'm very, very humble. I came from the bottom, And yeah, so that's what it was. That's what
And
it was. So I don't mind talking when we're on something like this because you'll hear it from my voice. I'm telling you.
no, that's cool. And you are a humble guy, and no, that's one of the things I like about you, Cooper. That's awesome. Just very quickly, I need to respond to one of Simon Salmon's comments, and in case you haven't read it, he was what we were talking about a TV show in the comments. I missed what the TV show was, but he said myself and my missus just watched Traitors Aussie version. The prize was 250,000 in sterling, 2 kilogram silver ingots. I was licking the telly. That's amazing, Si. That's brilliant. Yeah, what was what's the Aussie version of that you were watching? And also, I just want to say to the guys in the comments, if you do want us to talk about anything in particular, you'd like to discuss anything, or like to hear us discuss anything, just don't be afraid to shout us out in the comments, and we'll more than happy to do that. Right, Cobra.
Sorry, I totally missed what you said there. That's going to sound really, really rude. I was reading one of the comments, and it was just GNS Metals, and it says, "LOL, LOL, Cobra Stacker lives in a museum." And I was trying to work it out in my head, and I totally missed what you said, so I apologise. What did you say, bro?
I'd like to disagree with that because I think it's myself who lives in the museum and Cobra Stacker lives in an art gallery. So I disagree with that very slightly, but definitely not so much this setup. But I've just filmed on the I filmed one earlier today on the other setup, which is not really actually a setup. It's just my actual desk, but it's the one with all the old books and everything on there, and it's quite cool to film that. So that one definitely gives me museum vibes. But no, I was just saying that we're more than happy to discuss anything that the guys want to throw at us from the comments. That's right, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you've got any questions, I think we can make this one a bit of a Q&A from you guys. So if you have any questions, personal or not, obviously if it's too personal, we can say, nah, we're not going to answer that one. But yeah, let's do that. Let's have a little Q&A if you want to ask us anything.
So are you not looking to adopt anyone then, Cobra? No.
Now there was Ozzy Frost or Jamie,
Yeah,
and
I
he
just
sent me an email, and he goes, "Look, I haven't got a question as such, but there's one question, and that is, will you adopt me?" And it just made me burst out in laughter, and it was because I think the collection and all that, like he says, "Look, will you just adopt me? You've got some amazing coins, some amazing stuff." So
I
yeah, that really cracked me up.
That's that. It really cracked me up because Jamie's an amazing guy and he's somebody I chat to quite a lot outside of YouTube on email. He's a proper chap and he has got a great sense of humour. In case anybody didn't know, you may have seen Jamie before on the 365 Days of Silver channel because he's the guy who made the little foam man and put him in the deck chair and probably silver bully next to him and took a photo of 300. I think he was before 300 went on his stag do and he put him with like a little cocktail and he made this little figure for 365 and sent that into took a photo and sent that to 365. So he's a really funny guy. He's always having little cracks and stuff like that.
I saw the deck chair. I remember seeing that deck chair, but GNS Metals has put. I get where he was saying. He was saying about the museum, and he also says, "I bet Cobra has got a load of booby traps all over his house." My biggest booby trap is my dog Tyson, who's a fully trained security dog. So he's a great booby trap. But yeah, I mean, it has to be secure, but not everything is kept here anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm not too worried. And then Cobra only adopts baby snakes.
That's brilliant. Oh, speaking of Cobra, that's just made me think of something. Like I had a friend when I was younger, and I think his dad had gone to Vietnam when he was younger, and he had bottles of wine, and it had an entire Cobra inside it. It was like the weirdest thing I'd ever seen in my life. It's like, why would you drink that?
I have seen drinks with scorpions,
Yeah,
cobras, as you say, maggots. Well, we know you get
yeah,
those little worms in tequilas as
yeah.
well. Um, so I think there's many drinks like that, and it is a thing of I don't know the bravado. I think when you're drinking and you're having a laugh and you go, "Yeah, I drank this drink and it had a cobra thing in it." Yeah, great, lovely. But I'm sure they take the poison out of it, so it's not going to sort of get into the actual drink and kill you. But yeah, there's some beautiful stuff out there, some really nice things. Future investment says my
Yeah.
Q&A question for both. If I gave you both 1,000 each, which you had to invest, how would you invest it? Go on, you go first.
Yeah, no, very quickly before that, Silver
Oh,
Stacker's going now. So I just want to say goodbye to Silver Stacker before I answer. It's been great having you here and joining in with the chat, mate. Thank you very much for joining.
yeah, thanks for joining us, Silver Stacker. Really appreciate it, my friend.
Awesome. Brilliant. Okay, so futures question. My Q&A question for both. If I gave you both £1,000 each, which you had to invest, how would you invest it? Okay, so I had to invest it right now. That's an interesting question. What would I invest it in right now? Now I could be, I could be very boring and say I'd buy £1,000 worth of Silver Britannias, but because he's gone to trouble asking a question for it, I'd like to give a more interesting answer than that. And I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at a few different stocks at the moment, and just wondering where to put some money. And there's a couple that's taking my eye. I'm actually thinking on buying some stocks at the moment, some silver stocks, but I'm trying to do the old thing that you shouldn't do. I'm trying to time the market and just buy it at a peak and sell it buy it at a trough and sell it at a peak. So yeah, I'd probably hold on to it, wait for a good time to buy either gold or silver stock, hold it for a short period of time and sell it again for a profit. How about yourself, Cobra?
Well, it's a big thing that I've been talking about recently is Bitcoin. Um, I have watched a load of videos, not the ones that are telling you to buy or not to buy or anything like that, but more information on Bitcoin. And I need to give a shout out to Creative Precious Metals and thank him actually. So I'll tell you what happened. I was going on about Bitcoin. Yeah, I'll be interested in doing this, and I was being a bit silly in the way of I was just going, yeah, look, I'll put £1,000 in. Tell me how to do it. And CPM actually turned around and said, look, go away and look into it, where it started from, what it is. Because I was going to him, I don't actually understand what Bitcoin is. And I don't understand what a cold wallet is. And what do you just put it on a memory stick? Is that it? Do you know what I mean? Really had no idea about it at all. And he goes, you need to go away and look into it and then come back and we'll chat. And at first I thought, man, can't you just tell me what it is, will you? Do you know what I mean? I'll just put £1,000 in and we'll see what happens. But he actually did absolutely the right thing. And I'll tell you for why. I went off and I started watching some stuff. And I started to really understand how Bitcoin started, what it was about, what a blockchain is, how the whole system works, what the potential upside is, how it's limited to its number, how it still is being mined. What the hell is mining? Do you know what I mean? There's so many bits to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and so what happened was I got a really good understanding of it. And then I went back to him and I said, right, I'm ready to go. And so next week, I will probably buy my first £1,000 of Bitcoin. So if my true answer it would be, I would take the £1,000 and I would put it straight into Bitcoin as a new type of investment.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I had Bitcoin on my radar when I should have invested when it was new, like years ago, when it was literally new before it rocketed and people made a hell of a lot of money on it. I was a little bit into mining. I never had the gear to do it. Basically, in a nutshell, people, what Bitcoin mining is. Bitcoin is run on a blockchain, which means there's nothing. It's never it's a continual log of numbers, and what they do is they use like a peer-to-peer network where you can use people's computers to help process that blockchain. And if you were, and in my understanding, if you were lucky, and it's a bit like winning the lottery now, but if you were lucky enough to be the person who completed that block, then you could get a lot of money out of it. But it's something that I never really got into myself. I put a little bit of money in Bitcoin before. I don't know enough about crypto to actually keep money in there. When I say I don't know enough about crypto, it's the actual industry, because where I like to invest money is places where I've got some kind of understanding of how that industry works, whether or not it's booming at the time, whether or not it's in a bad area at the time, and I'll look to invest accordingly to that. And crypto, it's you don't know when or where it's going to go, and that's what's always put me off. But people
You,
have made a hell of a lot of money on Bitcoin, so I can
I
understand.
will say, you do actually know roughly. You can see the cycles of it. So it is on a 4-year cycle, from what I can gather. So basically, the miners who are mining the Bitcoin, and the way they do that is they are the ones, as you say, peer to peer, and every transaction goes into a block, and then the block is completed by these people who
Yeah,
verify all the transactions. As they verify, it goes into a block that goes off, and that's them earning a certain amount of Bitcoin. Now,
yeah,
every 4 years, the amount, so at the moment, I think, and please don't quote me on this, is 6.2 Bitcoin per whatever, certain amount of transactions or whatever. And every 4 years, that halves. And so the amount of Bitcoin coming on the market for a miner goes down. And
yeah,
so this is why I think it's 2140, we will be at the maximum of 21 million Bitcoin that can be produced. At which point there can be no more inflation on Bitcoin. And even
yeah,
inflation now on Bitcoin is very low. So in March of 2024 is the next half-life of Bitcoin, where the amounts that people can earn from mining actually halves. And so we should see an increase there. But what it is with Bitcoin is it's the money, let's say, of the people. The way I look at it is the money of the people. All other currencies and all other money is run by governments and institutions, and therefore is controlled by them, is printed by them, is increased by them. But the group or the person who started it, and there is a name, but that's not a real person. So it could have been a group, but it could
yeah.
have been.
Nobody knows who started it, do they? It's still to this day, and nobody knows who the guy was who actually started Bitcoin.
That's right. And so whoever it was who started it, whether it be a group or a single person, has made it and has put rules into it that it can only expand to a certain amount. There's only a certain amount of things that can happen in certain times and all that and time frames. And therefore by 2140 it will hit its maximum amount out there. Now the good thing about Bitcoin is it breaks down into several smaller amounts like Satoshis or whatever. And therefore it can be used for trading in smaller. So even when the price of Bitcoin goes extremely high, which over time it will do, because it's getting less and less out there for people to buy. Because even the big corporations who say they don't want it and don't like it are buying it up even to try and corner the market. But so much Bitcoin is out with the public at the moment, they can't do it in that way. They can just hoard a load. So it makes it less available out there, which will increase the price. So
Yeah,
there is so much. KW is going off it.
yes.
Hang on.
I was just about to say KW's off to have a barbecue. So thank you very much for joining us, KW, mate. It's always a pleasure to have you here, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, KW. Really appreciate that. Always got a lot of appreciation for you, bro. Loads of messages and loads of info from you. Thank you, brother. Um, so even though Bitcoin will hit a limit, and so therefore the price will go up because it will be like the crypto gold. And me and CPM have talked ages about this type of thing. That it will be the new sort of gold, but in the modern crypto sort of market. And I won't look at any of the other crypto. I'm not looking at Ethereum or Litecoin or any of the others. It is just going to be Bitcoin. And I made a mistake a couple of years ago. I did put some money into Bitcoin. And then, literally, I mean, day by day
Mm,
or week by week, I was moving it about. I'll take it out of there. Ethereum's going up. Take it out of there. Litecoin's going up. And I was moving it around, losing a bit of money on that. And then obviously the one I put it into would drop. And then I was like, oh no, panic. It was panic
yeah,
mode,
yeah,
not understanding it at all. Now I've
yeah,
learned a bit about it and I can see exactly where it's going to go, how it's going to go. Not that I'm telling the future, but my understanding is a lot better.
yeah,
I think it's going to be a sound investment. So I'm going to start next week with 1,000, and then I will do a monthly thing, like I was supposed to do with gold and silver, which went right out the window. But I'll have a
yeah,
monthly amount that I will put into Bitcoin every time. Now it was up at, I don't know, 40s, 50,000, and it dropped right down to under
yeah,
20 in the teens, and that's probably the last time I looked was about 23. CPM can correct me on that. So even though it is lower, it is higher than the original one where everyone made a load of money out of the dollar. I think there's still a lot of money to be made in it. a lot of money. So yeah, that's where I am with it.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's fair enough. And you've obviously done your own research in it, Cobra, and obviously, you know, if you're happy with it, then and same as I say, people have made a lot of money in Bitcoin, but I will say, for me, this is the only Bitcoin I would like to, and I just want to say another massive shout out to the great Aussie slash Jamie Frost, who is the guy who sent me this wonderful Bitcoin 1 ounce round there. So yeah, no, I don't. It's still, it's just not for me. Yeah, and I get everything you're saying is absolutely right. You know, you're not wrong with cycles, etc. It's just I I just worry with crypto that because you mentioned, like, I was going to say, you know, you've got Litecoin, you've got Doge, you've got Ethereum, you've got all these other cryptos, and you know, they're only worth what people really say they're worth. You know,
And what's fiat money worth?
at least it being fiat mean it's backed by a government, so at least it's got something to back it. You know what I mean? Like, the government has to crash and fall
But
for
but it only works on the trust of the people. Fiat currency only works on the trust of the people. So where,
yeah,
for instance, people are losing trust in America and all that, this is why we have the banks that runs that can go on. And in the same way, Bitcoin works off the trust of the people. So in those sort of ways, I absolutely and again, you're absolutely right. It's what you're comfortable with. It
yeah,
has to be what you understand and what you're comfortable with. So, for years I was in exactly the same boat where I was going, no, I don't like it, don't like it, don't want to touch it. And my business partner actually came to me when it was about 8,000, said, we've got to get into Bitcoin. I went, no, I'm not interested.
yeah,
So I totally get where you're coming from. But to me, it's the same principle as fiat money, but it is more secure for certain reasons of things they put in it because no government controls it and can just print
mm,
an unlimited amount.
yeah. No, it's I understand what you're saying there about the control, and it's not, you know, it's not as vulnerable to corruption as other systems are. 100%. What I my argument about when it comes to fiat currency, like, if for that to fall down, for it to crash, for me to for my physical pound 50p to not be worth anything, something has happened that's so bad that money is probably not my worry. It's being able to actually get access to food, never mind buying it. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing with you. It's like you say, it's whoever's comfortable with it.
absolutely.
And I think crypto is something that's it's polarizing, isn't it? You know, it's very much like Marmite. You're either in it or you're not.
I absolutely agree. And I think the other thing with me was my age, where I didn't understand it was totally, my brain couldn't get round it. It couldn't understand what this benefit of this electronic thing was that just doesn't exist apart from in the cloud or wherever it is.
Yeah.
Um, and I could not understand it, but I have got a much better understanding of it now. Cider Salmon says, I won £100 on premium bonds, which is
Hmm.
NSNI. First time I've won anything, and I took it out and bought silver. Well done. I was talking to CPM about this today, NSNIs, and they are a very good, secure way of having stuff. But you don't get an interest on it as such, but you go into a draw. And I've
Yeah.
won several times on it, and I find it really good.
Yeah.
I know my money's secure in there, and I'm earning something out of it whenever I win. So yeah, nice one, Si. Well done, brother.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Congratulations to you, Si, mate. It's great to see a great guy winning something there. Just want to touch on what you said there, Cobra, that although NSNI bonds don't have interest, once you hit a certain amount in savings with them, the average percent chance of winning something is higher than your average interest in a savings account anyway. So it normally works out a little bit better than the savings account. But it's not guaranteed because I've personally never won anything in NSA bonds, but that's because that is the one that I go to empty quite regularly when I've got a bill that comes up that I need to get cash for, or I need to dip into something. That's one I touch instead of touching any of my savings. So
Yeah,
personally, I've not won anything, but it is a great, I know lot of people who's won a lot of money on there, and it's something that I'm in. Cobra's obviously in. I know Future Investments. He endorses premium bonds. So there's obviously a lot of us that do it. So it does go to show that there is something there to them.
Yeah, definitely. I think when I first got it was quite a few years ago. I bought my first ones, and I was a bit nervous about it again because I was putting money into something I probably didn't understand at the time. And I rang them up and I had a really long chat with them, and they were really good. And they explained it to me what it is and how it works, and said, look, it is one of the securest places to put your money. And so that gave me some confidence. And the maximum you can put in there is 50,000. You can't go over that unless you open a different account or stuff. But so yeah, I really like it. And I've won some nice amounts. I have won some nice amounts, so I'm quite pleased with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I will say, the thing people need to realize with me is I don't ever win anything. And when I say I don't ever win anything, that's not hyperbole. I do not ever win anything. So don't use me as an example. Big people have won nice amounts from premium bonds. I'm just going to have a quick look at the comments. We've got Liberty v Silver in the house, so it's amazing to have you here. Looks like he's not able to stop long. He's saying he wishes he had time to hang out with us. I hope we all have a good one. The sets look amazing. Absolutely. I think Kobe's set looks absolutely stunning. He's had my nerd senses on overdrive, not only today, but probably the last week with the Marvel coins, the Dragon box, the Dragon bars. It's. I mean, you've had some incredible pickups this last week, haven't you? I mean, what a week for you, Kobe.
I have, and I've got so much more coming, and this is where sometimes I turn around feeling like, right, stop for a bit, will you? Stop, just stop. And I did about a month and a half ago. I said, right, that's it. I'm not buying any more silver. I'm putting a stop to it for the moment, not for any bad reason, just and I'm going to put some more money into gold rather than silver. And I have been picking up gold. Don't get me wrong, but I just can't help but being drawn back to silver.
Yeah,
and it's really aggravating because it bloody weighs a ton and takes up so much space.
I know,
Yeah.
but I love it. I love silver, and I was meant to pick some more. Well, I was meant to pick a few little pieces of gold up by now, but I just can't stop myself buying. I mean, I'm just a little spoiler. Look, pickups this week. I'm not going to show you what they are, but there's some silver in there. There's some 50p's in there. I'm going to do a little going through them and popping them in the albums again coming up soon. So yeah, no, I just can't stop getting myself silver proofs, pre-decimal silver bullion. I don't care what it looks like as long as I can get it. So. But yeah, it's such an addictive hobby though, isn't it? But the thing is about that, if you've got an addictive personality and you're one of these people like myself, like 365 Days of Silver has said, and like yourself has said yourself, Cobra, if money burns a hole in your pocket, what better thing to spend your money on than something like that, which isn't really spending your money, it's just transferring it into a different, better, more proper type of currency. That's real money, that's real currency right there. That's going to keep its value and go up. So it's people who have a little bit of a spending problem.
Losing sound on you a bit, bro. I can't hear you very well.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, I was just saying that it's a brilliant hobby, isn't it, for anybody with a bit of a spending problem who finds it hard to start buying silver.
Right, I don't know if it's me, but I can't hear you very well at all.
Right, okay. Let me try something else, mate. Let's take these out. Yeah, I've got a clear sheet right here. Give me a second, guys. Hopefully this should come back up.
Yeah, it's coming a bit better now. A bit better.
Awesome. I've just what I've done is I've took my earbuds out, so it's gone from using that microphone onto my phone microphone. So very sorry about the audio, guys. There, I hope it's looking a bit better. I've just seen that we've got John Ingham in the chat. John, it's brilliant to have you here, and don't apologise for being late. It's just brilliant to have you here whenever you can, mate. So that's awesome. So again, yes, are you picking me up a little bit better now?
Yeah, you're all clear, all clear. So
awesome.
Gina, Cobra, just sell all your props and buy some gold and silver instead. You could sell them for a few millions. Do you know what, GNS? You're not wrong, my friend. I have spent an absolute fortune on props, and I know I'm doing it. And honestly, Mrs. Cobra Stacker has a go at me all the time. She has no problem with any amount of gold and silver I buy because she knows what I'm doing it. She knows why I'm doing it, but she
Yeah.
keeps trying to stop me buying props. But I can't help it. I've got this sort of creative thing going on, which I've never had in my life. I don't think I've ever been creative a moment in my life, and now I'm just really enjoying making the backdrops and showing stuff. So yeah, you're right. I probably would
I
get
say
me.
Cobra.
Yeah,
It sounds a little bit to me like you've got a bit of a prop lum.
I don't even think I want to laugh at that. I shouldn't be funny, but that's a dad joke.
Here's a dad joke for you. Come at me with a better dad joke than that. Come on, I dare you.
I don't even think I want it, bro. You know what I mean? That's terrible, bro. Terrible.
That was awful, but it came to mind and I had to do it.
I think we've just lost 50% of our viewers, bro.
I mean, yeah, my subscriber count has just gone down by 75%, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Brilliant, guys.
Absolute fortune on him. Absolute.
Yeah, no, I can absolutely believe that because just a couple of, that Terminator skull that could not have been cheap, and
Yeah. I tell you what, that wasn't so bad. These ones I've got in front of you here, I picked up 3 of them last night. I was out with the missus, and we were out in central London. I picked up 3 of them for 45 quid each, and then I came home, and I liked them so much. I went on Amazon to have a look at what this collection was, and I found them at £30 each. So I went and bought another 4 or 5 or whatever, another 4, I think. So just in 2 days there, I spent a good couple of £100 just on those. And yeah, it's a bit silly. I get it, but I've got money in the right places, so it's a bit of fun, and it just creative precious metal. Stop making me laugh, guys. It's hurting me. He had, just so you know, he's had a. I think by him saying that, I won't say too much, but he had a little operation recently, yesterday, no, Friday, and so I really feel for him because he's been lying around and he's been bored out of his head. And we had a chat earlier, and he was saying, "Yeah, I'm just so bored. Like the missus has gone out and all that for dinner, and I'm sitting there and I can't really do much." And I just felt for him. So yeah, CPM. Did you watch the latest video with the watches? That would have kept you busy, I suppose.
is that one you put out earlier today?
Yeah. So the watch one came out at 7 o'clock this evening,
Yeah.
and it's showing the Kronos collection from the Pressburg Mint.
Yeah, I saw a notification, but I'll be honest with you, I was getting everything ready and set up for this, so I haven't had a chance to watch that yet myself. It is something I'm going to watch as soon as we finish up today. I'll head straight over there and give it a watch because I'll be honest with you, I assume it's going to feature the Kronos piece from the Pressburg Mint. Is that correct?
Yes, so there's actually a collection of those Kronos watch faces,
Yeah.
and off the top of my head, I think they've been running for about 7 or 8 years now. So you've got one released every year. So I actually got the 2017 originally, just the one piece, and it was such a spectacular piece that I had to go and have a look at the rest, and so I bought the whole collection.
No. Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say that's awesome, mate. I didn't actually realise it was a collection. The only one I was aware of is the one that you've shown in I think 365 Days of Silver, showing it on his channel as well.
That's right, yeah. But I actually went and got the whole lot. So I mean, what is it? Sai said, Cobra, what's your favourite gold bullion that I own? And he also said, yeah, the Kronos collection is really nice. And it is beautiful. It's a stunning, stunning collection. And if you're into watches, if you like watches, it'll appeal to you even more, which is why it appealed to myself and CPM
Yeah.
so much. But to answer your other question, Sai, this is probably going to sound quite boring. My favourite coin of all time has got to be, at the moment, the completer coin.
Yeah.
And I know people might think, maybe not, but for me, I just think it's a stunning coin. And I've got it in 2 ounce silver, 10 ounce silver, 1 kilo silver, and I also have the 1 ounce gold. And so for me, it's probably got to be that one as my favourite gold bullion piece, the 1 ounce gold complete coin.
Yeah, I can understand that because that's a stunning piece, that completed coin, and I can fully understand that. I don't have any gold bullion, so I'm a bit boring myself. I do. Well, in fact, you know what? I'm not planning to ever buy any gold bullion. I want to buy sovereigns.
Okay. Yeah.
So
And the good. Sorry, I apologise. Go on.
No. Go on.
The good thing about sovereigns are actually a really, really, really good bit of gold to stack, and there's several reasons. One, because they don't scratch as easy and all that because they're 22 carat, so you can play with them a bit more, which is great. Two, they're probably the most liquid gold piece you can get. People buy and sell that on the silver forum so easily. Literally, they put them up there and they fly out, and people buy them all the time. Three, the historical value is massive on them. History-wise, they go back hundreds of years, and they're the most recognised gold coin in the world. So they're absolutely brilliant bullion coins, gold bullion coins to get. So I agree, yeah, and they're a good price as well. A 1 ounce, you're easily paying 1,600 plus with premiums and all the rest of it for nigh on any of them. Some of the cheaper ones you can get, maybe the maple or the Krugerrand, and they'll be closer to spot price. But otherwise, you're paying quite an amount for 1 ounce, and with the price probably going up in the next 6 months to a year or over that period, it will go up even more. A sovereign is a great, what they call it, fractional coin to get in gold. So yeah, I think that would be an ideal choice, bro.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Sai's saying that he's the only gold he owns is sovereigns as well. They're a cool coin. You've got your history. I mean, I do want to clarify. I'm talking old sovereign, not new sovereign. There is a big difference, and I think most people agree that the old, actual gold-looking sovereign are better than the new copper-looking sovereign. Copper is a brilliant and beautiful metal, as you can see from Cobra's copper dragon rounds right there in front of us. I will at some point be looking to get some copper rounds just because I love the way copper looks. But you can buy a copper bullion for that look. If you can spend gold money, I want to have something that looks like gold. So I just said 0 and 4 Ducats. They are my favorite gold coins. I'm going to be honest with you, absolutely gold Ducats as well, and maybe just like with the bullion, but other kind of versions of sovereigns from other countries. Now, I'll only be picking up like one of each type of those ones, but Ducats are definitely a coin I'd like to get 1 or 2 of it going forward.
Have you seen the 4 Ducat?
I haven't seen the 4 Ducat, no.
I had 3 of them, and I have actually. I think I've sold all 3 now. They are. I absolutely get why he says he likes them because they are a really large coin in diameter, but they are wafer thin. They are so thin. When I first got my first 4 Ducat, it was beautiful. I mean, absolutely stunning coin, so thin but so big, in diameter. But because it's not a very well-known coin, I ended up selling them all. And I have done what you've done. I've picked up a World Series, so I have got the Krugerrand, the American Gold Eagle. What else have I got? All the Maple in gold, Britannia in gold, obviously. Some other ones. But I've got quite a few of the world sort of stuff, and you'll see them all on Tuesday when we do the full reveal. But I mean, the 4 Ducat, I agree, it is a beautiful coin because, as I say, I have owned them and they're great. But would I really keep them in my stack now as such? No, probably not.
Yeah. Just going back to what you were saying about thin gold coins. Now, the only gold coin I own is this one right here, which, if we can get to focus, is what this is a chorus dating back to the Ottoman Empire, and it is absolutely wafer thin. Now, if I can get a 50p, if I can get them to focus. Come on, focus. Let me just go into. Oh, here we nearly did. No. Anyway, just yeah, it is so thin. It's unreal. It's like as thin as a piece of paper. But yeah, that's the only gold coin I have at the moment. But that's the kind of thing I want to own, like a sovereign, a Korosh, a ducat. That something with a bit of history, because I like to, if I can, combine a bit of history as well as precious metals. That's where I'm in the sweet spot personally.
I mean that goes along with what you've been doing for quite a while already, isn't it? Because you do get the older coins and stuff. You enjoy that.
Yeah, absolutely. Future Investment said, out of my entire bullion stock, I've only ever sold one piece, and that was that collector, and that's completely true. And it is, if I can find him, where have I put that one? I'm not sure where I've put it now. It's somewhere. It's one of the Robin Hoods. What I've done, I've swapped the capsule it was in, because I've put that capsule for safekeeping, so I don't ever rub off the fact that it's signed by Future Investments. I did. I made him sign the capsule before he sent it over to me. So that was amazing of him. Just having a quick look at the comments here. We've got Cyber Salmon saying sovereigns are classed as bullion. I didn't think they were, so, because they are they're like you said, Cobra, they're 22 carat, 91.6%, I think it is, on the sovereign. So I didn't know they were classed as bullion, but that's interesting to find out. And he said, yes, Cobra, very thin indeed. Resale is not the best, but even the smaller ones, 1915 Ducats, are blooming lovely. Yeah, sometimes it is just about having a lovely little piece in the stack / collection. You could shave with that. You absolutely, it's so thin. It's you could shave with it. And cool coin stack collector. Thank you very much, GNS Metals. John Ingham's just popped up and said, FI, I'm glad that I was able to allay your fears about what I did and how I live, but that was between you and I, mate. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what we missed there, but that was between them two anyway. So that's all good. No, brilliant. So yeah.
One thing you said though, brother, you said about the sovereigns, and you prefer the old ones because of the colour of it and all that lot. Do you know what the really funny thing is?
What?
I prefer the new ones. And I know everyone's going to go, what? Because I have seen it so many times where people say exactly what you said, that they prefer the old ones, and I get it, but I really like that rose-coloury gold of the new sovereigns. And so when people are saying that, I'm like, oh man, do you know what I mean? I love the new ones.
Yes, yeah. No, I mean, as I've just said, copper looks great. So it's not that I particularly dislike the way they look. I just think they look like copper. You know,
yeah.
And
same amount of gold in them. Still the same thing.
Yeah, no, it is exactly the same amount of gold. It just looks. It's just a different look to the piece. I just prefer gold to look more traditional gold, but they do look fantastic. And as I say, that copper look, that copper color, to me, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. What else have we got going on? We've gone quiet. We've got any more questions coming in from anyone?
I'm having a quick look myself. Not seeing many more questions. So yeah, don't be afraid to fire your questions at us, guys. We're here to answer any questions you may have about our stacks, about precious metals in general, or just anything else you'd like to know. Feel free to ask.
Right, while you're talking for a second, I'm going to have to unplug my mic because I have to plug in my phone. So if anything changes, let me know in a second.
No problem. Because okay, so while Cobra's doing that, I will just once again remind everybody that Cobra has got his big premiere coming up, where he's going to be going through his entire stack, all of it, in one video, and he's going to do a premiere on the video, and he's going to run a competition in that.
live chat about Premier where somebody's going to win one of these Cobra Stacker Cobra channel rounds, and they're absolutely beautiful pieces. They were made by it's Angel something
A
pause.
Silver Angel.
Silver Angel. That
Yeah.
was it. And what an amazing work! What amazing work we've done. I will remind people that it's two toned. It's got different color on the snake to what it is on the silver, which you may not actually pick that out. But the snake itself it's got quite a bronzy look to it, hasn't it, Cobra?
It has, yeah. I mean, I honestly, their work is phenomenal, and there have been several other people who have approached them now from us showing this round, and I'm really, really pleased because they absolutely deserve it. They absolutely deserve the business from people. That they're phenomenal at what they do, and they work so hard. They really do work hard. So, if you haven't ever checked out Silver Angel, go and check them out because you'll be really surprised at what they've got and they can make bespoke things for you.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. So if you want something you want made, talk to them and they'll tell you how they can do it. Now, is my camera angle moving? Can you see new things?
Yeah, it's moving. It's not. I can see you put a dragon in like an egg, is it?
Yeah, it's a dragon egg. So there's a baby dragon for you in a glass egg. There you go.
That's awesome. That is. I do like that. Sorry, I'm just. Yeah, here we go. So I wanted to respond to John's comment there. I've noticed that a couple of the King Charles III commemorative coins are showing milk spotting already. TSC. We're all looking into the reason why it's happening. Yes, there are. And if you can see on this one right here, it's got a huge whacking milk spot. It's actually my worst milk spotted coin, and it's the unfortunately it's the cipher coin from Coronation. And yeah, you can just see the top of the coin there. It's awful. It's awful. That's a third of a coin at least, and I hope they are looking into it. I hope they can.
They know what it is, bruv.
Yeah,
they know what it is.
Yeah,
So Backyard Brilliant went down to the Royal Mint and and he had a chat with them, and it's basically where they get their silver rounds from. They use a chemical that is used to clean the round and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
now that chemical is not being washed off properly, and when you press it, it presses into the silver. As the silver then reacts with the air, that chemical can react to it. So that is what causes a milk spotting. Now, the problem is when you've got places like the Perth Mint and some other mints which never get milk spotting, it begs the question, why are you carrying on to use this supplier of the silver where you're getting this problem when everyone has complained about it so badly? And when I first started stacking, I saw a lot of people saying boycott them. I've had enough of this, and I was like, "Oh, come on, give it a break, guys." But same as you there, silver stack collector, the same as you. I had some of my what are they called, cipher coins, and I really like the cipher coin, and two of them milk spotted, and I was absolutely gutted. And being that it's bullion, there is nothing you can do about it.
Now this is. Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Cobra, because this is where I take a problem with roaming, and I've got a few problems with roaming at the moment. I'm probably going to do a video going through them, but yeah, I take offence at that because they put a statement on their website. Now I responded to Future Investments on one of his channels with this statement, which I directly copied and pasted it. I copied it from their website and I pasted it on Future's channel. Now, that statement stated that crown portrait of King Charles was only ever going to be used and was going to be reserved only for commemorative coins. Right? So, obviously, that's the reason I had a bet with 365, but I didn't think they were going to do any bullion version of the crown's King Charles. And obviously, I lost that bet because the way they've got round it, it seems, is like, okay, we're only doing it for commemorative coins, but we've put a limited mintage on these bullion. You can only get 200,000 of them, and you can only get 100,000 of those. So it's kind of a commemorative bullion piece.
But I mean, look, a commemorative coin can be bullion or proof. It's still a commemorative coin. It's commemorating his coronation. he
exactly.
won't get it out on anything else until, say, the Jubilee or whatever, which he won't be having. So
Well,
I
yeah,
don't see we'll see another crown coin.
no,
Um,
I don't think we will. But I, like yourself, I can't see why we would have anything. But the point I was making is not okay, not that it's not a commemorative, but if it is a commemorative coin, then it's not a standard bullion, and you should be doing refunds and returns on it.
I think the way they look at it is they are putting out a commemorative bullion coin to make it accessible to everyone. Um, when you're saying commemorative, a coin can be commemorative whether it's bullion or proof, because it's still commemorating his coronation, but they've done it in a bullion coin.
Absolutely. I agree with that, Cobra. But what I'm saying is the reason they don't return bullion coins is what they're saying is it's bullion. You're buying it for the metal content. That's what a bullion coin is. So you've got 1 ounce of fine metal. But if it's a commemorative bullion, you're not just buying it for the metal content. You're specifically buying it because it's got that specific design. And milk spotting ruins the design. And I just personally, I just
do.
think they should take accountability for that. And they, if you've gone out your way and you bought one of these coins, which is a special coin, and it's got a whacking great milk spot on that like that, they should then look to perhaps not refund maybe, but at least take a return and then exchange the item. You know what I mean? I just think it's a little bit of a kick to the teeth when when it's a limited minted piece like that.
Now, I agree. I mean, look, the thing is, I'm not happy about my stuff milk spotting, even with some of the QE2 Britannias that I bought, the 2023 ones. I
Yeah.
wanted them pristine because it was the last coin of the Queen, and it shouldn't have even been produced as such, because in 2023, obviously, we didn't have the Queen.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted them kept nice. And, quite a few of them milk spotted. And then the original King Charles ones milk spotted. And it is aggravating me. It absolutely is aggravating me. I don't like the fact that the Royal Mint aren't doing nothing about it. And someone did comment that the Canadian Mint have never had that problem either. So it can be done, and
Yeah.
they are making so much money out of us that they should do something about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, they are, and yeah, John thought that the Canadian Mint have never had this problem. I think actually the Canadian Mint did have this problem, and this is another thing about it. About the Canadian Mint, 100% did have this problem. We're at one point in history, we're one of the worst for milk spotting, but we're able to resolve it because
Yeah.
they know what's causing it. Like you say, like the Royal Mint, know what's causing it. It's borax, a chemical that's used for refining silver. It helps purify the silver during the refining process. And they can sort it out just like other mints have sorted out in the past. It's a huge shame, and not only because it compounds on other issues that I have with the Royal Mint at the moment. And I actually have a big issue with the amount of series coins that the Royal Mint are producing at the moment, because, you've got coin collectors out there that aren't rich. They want to be able to take part in these series. And when you bring them out that many together, it makes it a lot more difficult for people to get their hands on them. And they should be fairly available to people who want to collect. You know what I mean? And it should never get to a case where someone can't afford to buy a coin that we really like because they've just bought 4 Harry Potters, signed up for 4 Star Wars. We're doing the Queen's Beasts, Myths and Legends, and we're juggling about 5 different series all at once. It gets a little bit too much. You know what I mean?
I absolutely agree. And it's not only the fact of that, and that is the main point and a very good point, but they can't even keep up with themselves.
Yeah.
So if you notice with the Tudor Beast, they released it in a different order to the proof releases, which happens, but the proofs are about 2 coins ahead of the bullions in the Tudor Beast now. So they couldn't even keep up with what they had put out to do. So yes, the main point is exactly what you said, that people can't afford to get all the series if that's what they wanted to do. But secondly, they can't even keep up with what they're doing.
Yeah, that's one of the other big issues I have with them right now. Is they are selling things. Well, and Harry Potter was a big one for this, where they're selling the next one in the series, and you still haven't given me what I paid for months ago.
Yeah.
On the last one, you can't keep up with yourselves. That's how.
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I'm just going to interrupt you quickly. Senator Georgie's going off to work, so thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate that, bruv. I will be in contact with you soon. I've got a little something I want to do with you, so nice one, bruv.
Yeah, that's awesome for having you here, Georgie, mate. It really is a great channel you have. If anyone hasn't checked George's channel out, get over there and give it a watch, because he has some absolutely incredible coin reviews. I think he may have released one that I haven't watched yet. The last one I watched was his myth coins with the vampire and the Eros coin, and it was a wonderful series. So if anyone hasn't checked that out yet, definitely get over there and do so. Just having a quick look at the other comments here. They're pretty much all agreeing with what we're saying about the Royal Mint at the moment, with the milk spotting and the overproducing series coins. So, and I think that is something the Royal Mint need to look at. That this is a sentiment that is being echoed across the community. This isn't just one or two people saying this. You know, you need to look at the way you're running your business right now, and perhaps maybe shake things up a little bit, because you're making people unhappy. And we're really, you know, I should be here saying how great the Royal Mint is. I mean, it's our own national mint. I am quite a patriotic guy, and I'd love the Royal Mint to be a good mint and be producing the quality stuff it should be producing, because design wise, a lot of its stuff is absolutely stunning. I haven't got a problem with that.
Absolutely agree. And you're right. We should be able to be proud of our mint, but we can't be. And the trouble is, it's not only in this country, even in America, people are saying, I won't buy from the Royal Mint again. I've seen several videos of different creators who have had the same problem with the milk spotting, and they're fed up of it. But the Royal Mint know. They absolutely know that people are not happy, and they carry on. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What can you do?
Yeah, and that's where I start to. And I personally, I'm going to be honest with you. I've signed up to the Star Wars series. I'm getting all of them. It's Star Wars. I'm going to do that. We're bringing out a J.R.R. Tolkien £2 coin soon. If anyone, I know you know Kobe, but if anyone didn't know, he's the guy who wrote the Lord of the Rings books.
Yeah.
I'm a huge giant nerd. I will be owning that coin, but after that, I'm going back. I'm concentrating on my Florin Day run. After that, I'm doing my shillings, and I'm going to start buying pre-decimal silver again, as well as maybe foreign overseas bullion like kookaburras, Cougarans, that kind of thing. For a time being, I'm not going to be concentrating on buying any more Royal Mint products. Certainly not silver proofs. I've spent a lot of money this year on silver proofs, and if they can't book their ideas up on other areas of the business, I'm going to be looking to purchase other pieces from other places, because there are some amazing mints out there with some amazing pieces.
There are, without a doubt, and even some of the smaller mints. The real sad thing is, I've got, like yourself, I've got the Star Wars 50p and 1 ounce silver, four of them ordered, and I am also getting the Tudor Beast, so that's another one which I will carry on with. Lord of the Rings, you've just told me about. I will get that, and you'll see something on Tuesday on my big reveal, which has got something from Lord of the Rings in it. But I agree. I think that the trouble is, you know, even when people stop, the thing is, do they stop? You know, I've collected the Britannias now, and I've got quite a little date run of Britannias as well. And I, you know, I want to get them. I want to support our mint. But in the same token, I'm fed up with them. I really am. But will they listen? They haven't listened so far. Backyard Bullion went down there and posed a question to them, and they didn't give any satisfactory answers to how they were going to combat it, or if they were going to even try and combat it. So it seems like they really don't care about what everyone is saying.
This is my number one problem with them. Like, taking everything else aside, because I've communicated with the Royal Mint quite a bit, and they do not care. Like, it is like hitting your head against a brick wall. I wrote an email of complaint to them a few days after moving into my new house, which I moved in on the 1st of July. I have not had a response from it. They've not even bothered to reply to my email.
Yeah, that's terrible. That is terrible. And then, as you say, there are so many other good mints out there. The Canadian mint is now one of the best. The Perth mint is absolutely amazing. I love them. And you look at the smaller ones like the Pressburg mint. and CPM and myself keep hunting around and finding other mints and telling each other which CPM you've got to stop doing because it's costing me an absolute fortune. Very aggravating.
Do you want me to cost you a little bit of money?
Go on.
Check out the Germanic Mints Mythic Beast series.
Okay, so I've seen the Germanic Mint. I'm sure I have, but I haven't seen the Mythic Beast. So...
Yeah, they do a Mythic Beast series, and it is outstanding. It really is, with some gorgeous pieces on there. I'll see if I can get some up for you to see. But it's the kind of stuff that you will love, Cobra.
Yeah, well, you know what's going to happen now, bro. If I see it, I'm going to buy it. Then I'll have to do a video on it. Then I'll have to mention you for making me lose a load of money. So well done, bro. Thank you very much for that indeed.
Well, that's it. A Germania B series, Germania B silver coin collection. And here's a wolf. Look at this. That's 1 second. This is. Can you see that?
I have seen that. That's like the back and the front can go in an infinity coin.
Yes.
And double up. Yes, I have seen them, but they are extortionately expensive.
Yeah,
they're really, like, I know I do spend a bit, and there are certain pieces I'll pick up which, you know, I may spend a bit too much on, but I really liked it. But in the same token, I just thought, no, I can't convince myself to get that. I mean, one of the coins I got, the Coronation 1 kilo Britannia, I believe it was, or the Coronation coin, 1 kilo proof. And as I said before, that was like 2,390, way over what you'd pay for the actual silver content. But there was only 200 of them made, and I got 2 of them. So I do go a bit mad, and I'll buy something like that occasionally. But yeah, I couldn't justify that wolf, though I do like it. So I don't know. I don't know. I'll have another.
They are an absolutely stunning series. They're not necessarily the cheapest, but they are a stunning series. I mean, it's the exact reason I don't own it. I mean, if money was no object, I'd probably have them all. But you know, there's so much silver out there on my list of things that I want to buy that you know, I don't worry too much if I don't have to buy anything from Roman, because you know, I've got a long list of things that I do want to buy. So I'm happy enough to start ticking other things off boxes if needs be. But hopefully, with channels like Backyard Bullying, because you know, he's a big channel and he's got a little bit of sway. So hopefully, if he's bringing attention to it, then maybe they might start looking into it. And so I don't care. If I'll keep banging on about it until they change it. I mean, I want to see a better mint going forward. So, you know, for one, I'll keep putting those issues out there, and I hope other creators will do as and when they come across them. And if viewers have any problems like they have with places like this, let us know. We would be more than thankful for emails and be able to put videos up covering those for you guys. That's something I know I'd love to do, and I'm sure Cobra would be very interested to doing that too.
Well, definitely. I mean, I have got what do they call it, in the bullion section and the proof section of the Royal Mint now. I've got those people who phone me up. So I've got a personal assistant. I don't know what they call them really, who phone me up and say, "Okay, we've got this available," and they give me options on it first so that I don't miss out on anything. And I think I will. I'll mention it to the bullion one who deals with me and say, "Look, what is going on? Why is this the case?" And see what they say.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, to be honest with you, things don't change if nobody says anything, does it? One saying I love it's the squeaky wheel who gets the oil.
Yeah.
You know, if you suffer in silence with these things, nobody's going to change anything. So, you know, we've got an amazing community. So we'll band together as a community, and we'll keep banging on it with Roman until we do something.
Do you want to read John Ingham's comment? Only because now I've taken the mic off, I've got to sort of move, and you'll lose voice. But read that comment. He's put something about the Royal Mint are looking into.
Yes. Yeah, no, I was literally just looking at that, as you said it, mate. The Royal Mint are looking into the milk spine issues. Let's hope they practice what they preach, because I will not be buying anything from them until they sort it out. Yeah, that's a sentiment that's being echoed around at the moment. Creative Press Minister says stunning TSC, and that's in response to the Germanic coin there, and yeah, no, it's really was a stunning coin that was. And John's put, I've already done it, Cobra Stacker. Yeah, no, that's brilliant. That is brilliant, John. That's amazing, mate. I'm really glad to hear that.
What's he already done? Talk to someone? Is that what you're saying?
Sorry.
Was John saying that he's already talked to someone, or?
Yes, no, he has. I think he sent an email across to them, I do believe. He was saying that in the chat earlier on today. I know John, he is quite active when it comes to the Royal Mint. He's quite verbal, and I give him credit for doing so. He's posed questions to them in the past, such as why they decided to stop selling the 1 ounce bars, because a lot of people like the 1 ounce bars, and they've just stopped doing them now for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, great, John, that you've done that. I know Backyard Brilliant did as well. I'll do it as well. The more of us, I think, who say something, hopefully it pushes them a bit, but hopefully they are looking into it and they will do something, because it is, as I say, worldwide it's known. And yet, worldwide, the Britannia is known to have the best security features of any coin. So we can get one side of it really good, and the other side of it, it's like we don't care.
Yeah, no, this is it. This is what I'm saying. This is why it's a shame, because they have some stunning designs, some amazing security features, and it's not just a security feature. It's part of the design. Now, let me find a standard Britannia. Like, so, if you see here with the standard Britannia, you've not only got the holograph trident there. The background there, those waves, that's the Royal Mint calls that their hexurity feature, which is
Right.
I believe it's a mixture between hexagon and security, and it's what gives it that kind of kind of holographic effect with the light. But brilliant, absolutely brilliant security features. Great design. I mean, great designs. Whether or not you're a fan of that guy right there, that's a great portrait. It's a stunning design. It's great craftsmanship. There's been a lot of work gone into it. So design wise, they're amazing. They really are up there as one of the top mints in the world. So if they can get everything else right, they would be surely it'd be better for them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to do them any harm to get it right.
Yeah, no, exactly. People will buy a lot more from them. John said, yes, I've been in touch with Royal Mint Cobra Stacker over milk spotting issues, and will continue to do so until they get rectified. That's brilliant, John. I mean, that's what we all have to do. I mean,
yeah,
you don't have to be difficult with them. Just, like what I did, just put an email across, putting your disappointments down to them, and give them an opportunity to rectify it. And hopefully they, if enough people raise a problem with them, then they will look to do something going forward. That'd be brilliant.
I agree. I think I'll get on it as well, and yeah, anyone else who feels they want to do that, do it. I think you're absolutely right. The more of us actually moan about it and say something in a decent way, hopefully they will.
Yeah. Don't start calling Royal Mint shouting and swearing at them.
no, that ain't gonna help nothing. Look, I just moved my set into a certain way, and from what I can see, it looks like fire's coming out of the dragon's mouth. Is that right?
Yeah, no, that is absolutely amazing. But it really does look like it's breathing fire down. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hit their bottom line. Yeah, absolutely. Creative Press Metals hit their bottom line, and if they can start seeing profits go down, then they'll start to do it. Now they're probably not seeing profits go down at the moment. We're probably seeing a spike in profit because of the amount of series that they are producing at the moment, but that spike isn't going to carry on for long. Like I've said, people aren't going to keep buying that many series coins for that long, and we'll start to see, I think, drops in sales going forwards if they don't look to change a couple of things.
I did notice someone had put in the comments, I can't remember, it was a little while back, have we had any proof coins which have milk spotted? In my case, no, I haven't. None of my proof coins have gone bad in that way, but I don't know with yourself.
Yeah, no, I noticed that earlier as well. I think it was John as well who put that. No, and this is another thing. They know what we're doing. I haven't got a single milk silver proof, and as you'll see from my last video, I've got silver proofs dating back to the 70s. You know, and not a single one of them are milk spotted.
So why can't they use that silver for it, or do whatever they're doing in the cleaning process to get that borax off it? I don't
Yeah.
get that. There's no difference in silver, is there? I don't know. Is it 3 nines or 4 nines on each one? Is there a
No.
difference in the way?
No, it's silver. 1 ounce silver proof is 1 ounce 999 fine silver.
Right. So then, in that case, obviously the proof technique is to stamp it multiple times. Press it multiple times to get the proof.
Yeah.
But the actual silver is the same. So why can't they just use that?
Well, maybe it's not, Cobra. Maybe the round they use for the proofs are more expensive because they've been cleaned better.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
I don't know.
and they do have a silly high premium on proof coins. You know, when an ounce
Yeah.
of silver is around 20 odd quid, and they're charging around 100 quid for it, and yeah, it gets stamped a couple of extra times, but is it really worth that much more? You know, it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, one thing I will say very quickly about premiums is I personally feel that sometimes people get a little bit too caught up in premiums, because where else in your life do you look at premiums? You don't.
No,
You
it's
don't.
true. And they're going to put profit on everything that we buy and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff, and there's
Yeah.
premiums. And the
Yeah.
thing is, people say about premiums, but often I find, yes, you may lose on some coins a bit of premium, but often I find, and the Silver Forum is a great place to look for it, premiums do hold. So if someone's bought a gold 1 ounce coin and they paid a premium on it, when they sell it, they do add that premium, if not a bit more, on top of spot. So the premium's still there.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. You know, this is why the premium, it kind of doesn't matter. What, you know, you're not, when you're saying a 1 ounce bullion, you're not saying 1 ounce of silver. You're not saying spot price. You're asking what is a 1 ounce silver bullion coin worth, and it's worth around an X amount of money, and that amount of money will go up or down depending on the silver spot price. But as you said yourself, if you look after your coin, you can resell the premium. The premium is something you own when you buy that coin.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just to say, McDonald Bullion's joined us, so it's wicked to see you, bruv. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely, it's awesome to see you here, McDonald Bullion. It's a great channel, and I've been loving some of your more recent videos too, mate. Great to have you here, as Cobra said. TSC is very. Sorry.
So Supreme Ginger Stacker as well has joined us.
Yes. Yes.
I don't think I've met him before or chatted to him before, so thank you very much.
Yeah, no, Supreme Ginger Stacker. It's great to have you over here. I've seen a few of Supreme Ginger Stacker's videos from the States, and a channel I got put on to by I think it was Tuli quite a little while ago. So a great channel, and definitely worth checking out. Just wanted to respond to Creative Press Metals. TSC, is there a problem with 50p's, etc.? No, because the only time we ever produce a 50p in silver is a silver proof, and another thing with 50p silver proofs is they're not the same silver content as the 1 ounce bullion. The 1 ounce silver proofs, which are 999 silver. The 50p's are made out of 925 sterling silver still. So there's a lower. It's not as pure, and as I say, the borax is used in the purification process. So it's
I've learned something new there.
Yeah, 50p's are 925. Ridiculously expensive, because the 50p's are 8 grams of 925 silver for 70 quid. The 1 ounce proofs are 1 ounce of fine silver for 100 quid. So if you break it down per gram of silver, you're paying a hell of a lot more money for the silver proof 50p's.
So those colorized 50p's that I got on the Star Wars ones are sterling silver.
Yes.
Well, how silly of me not to check that, though I do like them anyway. But yeah, I didn't realise that at all. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. If you grab the box and have a quick look on that, you'll see that's 925 sterling silver on the 50p. I've got some. I don't know whereabouts they are in the box, mate, but I don't know. Yeah, that's the problem with Silverproof, because I keep them all in the original cardboard boxes, but I've just got a pile of beige boxes, and I don't know which
Yeah,
ones.
I'm the same.
It took me too long to go through, but yes, no, the 50p's they're 925, you know, and I'm not sure on the five. I'm sure the £5 proof was 999 silver, but I'm not a million percent sure on that, so I'd have to recheck that. But yeah,
Interesting.
no, sorry, mate, go on.
No, I just said that's interesting.
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely, very interesting. I think one of the reasons they still use sterling silver, I think, in the 50s is it makes a better coin. You know, pure silver isn't necessarily the best for making something out of, and having that little bit of copper in the or a little bit more copper in the mix, I think it makes the coin take the press a little bit better. With 1 ounces, they obviously like to keep that to the kind of more bullion standard.
Cool. What else have we got in the messages?
We've just got Supreme Ginger saying hello. I don't think we've got any new messages from the last ones we've read out, buddy. So just to remind everyone, if you are wanting us to discuss anything in particular, or you are wanting to ask any questions, then absolutely feel free to do so. If we don't get any questions, we are liable to start talking about things such as food, etc. So just be warned about that. It's not our fault if it goes that way.
Do you know what? I think we've done very well to stay on subject with coins and silver and gold and all that. I think we've done really, really well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Have you guys, sorry, this is from Supreme Ginger Stacker. Have you guys had the same problems with your banks like 365 Days of Silver? Interestingly, I did personally have my own problem with the bank. I put a video up a little while ago. When I first started my channel, one of the main things about my channel was 50p hunts. I did one really regularly. It was my channel was initially was going to be coin reviews, talking about stacking and investing, and also 50p hunting. And I was having a lot of fun with them. I found loads of 50p's. I had no problems at all with the bank. Everything was going fine until they just turned around and said, no, we're refusing to let you take your money out in bags of 50p's anymore. So yes, I've had problems with the bank dictating to me how I can access my cash flow, which I personally think is wrong. If you hold money in a bank account, you should be able to request how that money is returned to you. I could understand if I have to order it and wait a few days. That's absolutely fine, but you should be able to allow me to request how I want that to be paid back to me.
I think I don't know. I've had businesses where I've had to get change all the time and all that lot, and you know, businesses need that change. So maybe there's something to that. Maybe, as you say, if you're ordering it, it shouldn't be a problem as such. But as far as like with the problems that 365 had, where he went in and they refused it or whatever it was, I'll be honest. I made comments on all the videos I saw like that, saying, look. I have taken out £5,000 at a time, £2,000 at a time, £3,000 at a time in cash. And I do get asked a couple of questions like, is anyone coercing you to take the money out? Have you been told there's a problem with keeping your money in banks? But otherwise, I have had no issue with taking out cash from my bank. And I've got to be honest and say that, because I haven't. And literally, I know I could walk in my bank tomorrow and say I need 5,000 in cash, and they'll ask me a couple of questions which I have absolutely no issue with them asking me, and I've always got my cash.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair, and I think if you ask me, yeah, what the only problem you should really get with your bank is that they will tell you we don't have that much cash in the branch right now. Come back on X day and it'll be here for you to collect. Because people have got to realise that's not entirely the bank's fault. The banks are reacting to society going more and more moneyless.
Absolutely. I
So they do,
totally agree with that.
yeah, 100%. Like we can't say the banks are forcing us to go cashless when the banks are reactively going cashless because people are paying on the card or on the phone these days. It's not entirely the bank's fault. So I will always accept the bank telling me come back on X day and we'll have the cash for you. I've never had any problem being able to do that. I understand what people are saying, like being able to get the cash then and there. But you know, it's business, isn't it? You have got to make some allowances for people to run the business, if you know what I mean. But yeah, apparently with a few of his videos, he was saying that they just were point blank refusing to let him take it out in cats. And
I think it really look. I think it can depend on the account. It can depend on the banks, where you are. Do you know? I think there are so many factors to it. And we all know that governments are going towards the CBDCs, and that is eventually going to happen. But I don't think they can restrict your cash as such. I can understand people have had problems, and that can lead you to think that banks are stopping you from having your money. But
yeah,
if they actually did that, they would cause a breakdown in the trust of people in banks, and you would get bank runs, and you would get a whole heap of problems that leads on from it. So I can't see it being a conscious effort to stop people getting their money. I just think they're not prepared for people to walk in and ask for a large amount of cash in one go.
yeah, no, absolutely, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I really am. You know, it would be just a stupid, ridiculous risk to keep amounts of money in a branch which you don't need on a regular basis. You know, when I run my business, and I'm sure it's the same with you, Cobra. If you ever need to, if you've got any costs to your business, you mitigate them to the
Yeah,
lowest amount, and maybe
absolutely.
sometimes. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm just saying, I totally agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes maybe something will come along where oh damn, I haven't got enough materials in for this job. I'm gonna have to go out and buy them specifically for this, but I haven't got them to hand. I'm gonna have to go out and get them, and that's just the same as the bank saying we don't have your cash right here. We'll bring it in a later date. Now, going on CBDs, what you're saying about them now. When it comes to CBDs, the problems with CBDs isn't with the banking system. It's the ways that government control can or potentially may be able to control your wallet or your spending abilities through CBDs. It's not that the banks are going to stop you being able to spend here or there. Banks want you to use their system and spend wherever you want. CBDs, I am saying the stance I have with CBDs is we've lost the fight with CBDs. But CBDCs, they are coming no matter what. We need to band together, sign petitions, and make sure that they don't ever take away physical cash and it doesn't go to just digital money. And that way, you know, we can protect ourselves because they can block your wallet till the cars come home. If you've got your cash sat at home, it doesn't affect you.
Yeah, I think we'll have a transition period when they go on to CBDCs of where there will be cash and CBDCs until people start using CBDCs to such a level
Yeah,
that cash is now, they say we can get rid of it.
yeah,
Now, the thing is, I do believe that eventually it would go to a cashless society just through the way it is, just through the way things work.
yeah,
Um, Look, the thing is, this whole thing about controlling your wallet and controlling your money, and again, me and CPM have talked about this many times. So with AI plays a big part in what's going on as well. So there's a
yeah,
lot of talk over the next few years that because of AI and how quickly it's developing, we are going to lose a lot of jobs out there. 80% of jobs, they reckon, will go because of AI. A lot of jobs will be formed in that technical market in AI, but a lot will be lost. And those people older like myself or middle aged may not necessarily be able to jump into the new AI jobs that are there. And the younger generation, I mean, the kids at school now and all that lot will be taught more of that sort of system so that they can get those jobs. Now, then they talk about bringing out a universal, what they call it, a universal sort of payment to everyone so that we all earn. Sorry?
universal basic income.
That's right, thank you. So that we're all getting a certain amount of money in the universal basic income. And then if you're going out and working, you can earn more. I think that's a very dangerous thing. I think it can create real problems with some people who aren't able to get a job in those certain fields, being stuck with that basic amount, and other people being able to earn money on top of that and creating a two-tier system. But I do think it is inevitable that eventually it will go to CBDCs. Now, the other side of it is that, well, the governments can control your money and can stop you buying certain things and all the rest of it. Again, I don't think that will happen like that. They have the capability because of the system to do that. But in our countries, I mean, in China, it's a different matter. It's a communist country and it's quite a regime. But in our countries, if they did that, you would have strikes, you'd have riots, you'd have all sorts. So they have to keep the people happy as well. But
Yeah,
when it comes to the universal credit type thing, there may be certain restrictions. Or if they wanted to promote electric cars more, they could say anyone who buys an electric car within the next year will get, let's say, 500 CBDC credits, which must be used within a year or can
yeah,
only be used towards the car.
yeah.
Things like that. So they could give you bonus monies, which is a restriction on what you use it for, but your general money won't be restricted. I don't believe.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. They can urge you to spend money where they want you to spend it in different parts of industry, what they want to prop up by doing exactly that kind of thing. Now, I think the reason people are concerned about the more governmental control is because of the 2020 lockdowns. I think we're still coming out of that. People still have it fresh in their memory. After 2020, towards the end of 2021, I can't remember which county it was in the UK, but there's a county out there that are looking into doing lockdowns, local lockdowns for pollution reasons to stop traffic and things like that. So I think the worry is that if they did, and if anything did happen like that again, and lockdowns were brought in, that people could have their wallets locked to stop them being able to spend it in other areas, which I
I
think.
get it.
Yeah, and I think if we did have a similar situation to COVID and the lockdowns, that would then become a possibility. I think, having seen what we did see, I can see that being done through lockdowns.
Yes, no, you're right. I do get that. That if we get into a situation like that again, that if you go outside of a 10-mile radius, I mean, there was places like Argos or something, and someone couldn't buy something there because they were outside of the area they're supposed to be in. There was some sort of situation I remember like that. But the trouble is, I think that the COVID lockdowns was a really good time for them to test certain things, and they did use that time for that.
Yeah, they did, absolutely, and they also took away a lot of our rights to protest during the lockdowns as well.
Well, they didn't do very well with Just Stop Oil, did they?
No, well, I mean, just stop oil is something I'm more than happy to discuss. But in a nutshell, you're ruining your own cause. You guys are ruining your cause.
Look, they're an absolute nightmare. They really are. They're not getting people on side, which is what you need to do when you want to change something. You need people on side to be supporting you. But
Yeah.
if you look at Just Stop Oil, you've got to look at the bigger picture. They are being given money by a massive oil tycoon's daughter. They are being funded by that. And they don't even realize, the people out on the road don't even realize. But these are people who are literally playing games with money to cause problems, to cause a breakdown in the structure of society. And these protesters are too stupid to realize what's going on.
Yeah, no, they are, because, and the problem is, they mean well, absolutely. I understand you mean well, but like you've said yourself, Cobra, it goes a little bit further than not getting people on board. Like you do, like when you have a cause like that, you need to get people on your side. You need to get them on board. The worst thing you can do is act in a way that not only doesn't get them on board, but gets them to oppose you.
Yeah.
Because people hate you so much, they'll start to oppose what you stand for just because they don't like you, and that's what they're not getting right now. And you're stopping real people, normal people, doing normal things, such as getting to a loved one's funeral, or getting to work.
Yeah.
Someone's been sacked, they've got kids to feed, and now they don't have a job because it's their third time being late to work, and every single time it's because you're blocking the road. It's not fair to those individuals. It's just not.
No, absolutely agree. And I mean, if you want to see any of these sort of things, watch a bit of Piers Morgan. He's had loads of them in there and discussed things and all that lot. I think he's great. I think he's absolutely...
of Piers.
Sorry?
What's your thoughts on Piers?
I like him. I like him. He's
Yeah.
very direct. He's very straight. I think he interrupts a bit too much sometimes. Let them say their bit. Let them come out with their rubbish and then like smash them down. And sometimes he won't even let them speak. But I want to hear what rubbish they've got to come out with. I like Piers a lot. He's straight talking, and that's what I like. There's no rubbish to him. He's not always right. I'm not saying he's always right. But the majority of the time he is. I like him.
I will say this is much I will happily say. I like to watch his interviews. I enjoy watching the interviews. You know, and a lot of the times I am 100% on board with Piers. I think he makes good points, and you know, he's very articulate in what he says. And other times I think he's an absolute moron. You know, but you can say that about all of us, really. But I think his interviews are very, very, very interesting, and yeah, he's it is interesting when you bring him up, because I do enjoy watching some Piers Morgan interviews.
Yeah, I think he's brilliant, and I mean, he's got his view, and he'll stick to his view no matter what. And I like that in a way. Do you know what I mean? But even when you come onto the wokery stuff and all that, like he's come out with some brilliant things, like I'm a two-spirited penguin and all that. And I thought, yeah, you're right. You know, if you think that, you know, you can feel something so you can be whatever you want, then yeah, I can be whatever I want.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and it's you know, why does it? If you're going to say that, why does it stop at gender?
Yeah,
Because
age,
because the people who say that we can swap the gender will laugh at someone and say, "Well, I'm a 21-year-old man. That's why I am. I'm 21."
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've only got to watch. Oh, what are they like? I've watched so many of them now. Jordan Peterson.
I love Jordan Peterson.
He's brilliant. What's the other one? The Jewish guy.
Ben Shapiro.
I love him. Ben Shapiro. He talks fast, but I tell you what, that guy can answer questions like nobody's business. Yeah. And he will break you down and just... I think these people are highly, highly intelligent. I have so much respect for them.
Yeah, I want to bring up Jordan Peterson. I'm glad you know who he is, because I want to bring a bit of attention to Jordan, because he's got me through a hard time in my life. Right, Jordan Peterson, the left won't hate me, but that man is just there trying to help people. He is just trying to help people, you know, and he relates to a lot of men out there that are struggling because of society today, and a lot of people don't understand some of the struggles that a lot of men can face in society today, and he's just trying to make that become apparent to people. And it reminds me of a story. Now you'll enjoy this, Cobra. This was quite a funny interview I saw on an Australian TV show, and there was this author there, this book author, and she wrote a book about you know, supporting the male victims of domestic violence.
Yeah.
She went on a tour in America, and she was heckled, booed, had things thrown at her when she went out to do these book signings. And she did this TV interview, and we were saying to her, well, you know, you've been to other countries to celebrate your new book. Have you not received this kind of reception there? And she's like, well, no, I've received really positive reception. I don't really understand, you know, why I'm getting so much negative here. And the hostess turned around and said, well, I think it's because 6 months ago we had this case where this woman and her 5-year-old son got beaten to death and killed by the husband in the relationship. And she said, and she interrupted and said, okay, so you said the woman and the 5-year-old son? He says, yeah, that's right. She goes, yeah, so yeah, a male victim of domestic violence.
Yeah.
And it shut her up, because she didn't realise that 5-year-old son is a male victim of domestic violence. It happens. And to you know, to try and stop or you know, it reminds me of the Johnny Depp case, and you know, wouldn't know about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case. No matter what you think about it, I think it did a lot to bring awareness of abuse that men can that men can encounter in relationships, so whether or not that be mental abuse or physical abuse. You know, it people, you know, it can happen either way around, and I do think a lot of the times it gets overlooked on the side of the men. And Jordan Peterson, going back to him, is a really nice guy, a really great guy, and you know, I can't recommend people watch his interviews enough. You know, I've watched a lot of his interviews personally.
I've watched a hell of a lot of his stuff and Ben Shapiro, and I agree. I think he is an amazing guy, and you see the emotion in him sometimes. You
Yeah,
literally see inside how he's sort of crying about how people are being treated or men are being treated and all that sort of stuff. But what you've got to look at, and we're getting into very dodgy ground here, but I don't really care, to be honest, because I'm sick of people sort of hiding what they really feel because they're scared to say anything.
yeah,
Um, I think, you know, you look at the feminine movement, and the feminine movement has gone through 3 stages. And the first one was during the suffragettes, and then there was another one in the 60s or 70s. And now we've gone to a very radical and extreme feminine movement where all men are absolute shit. You know,
yeah,
men are the cause of this, men are the cause of that. We expect, you know, a 6-figure salary and men to do everything and us to do nothing. And they're so entitled. A lot of women in the younger generation now are
mm,
so entitled. Um, and they put down men constantly. It's a patriarchic world. It's a misogynistic world. You even look at the new Barbie film, and there was Ken going around saying, "Oh, the patriarchy," and you just think, "Shut up! Stop
yeah,
being the victim." You know,
yeah,
work with everyone, and everything will be cool. Do you know what I mean? But you know, they're making out that women have been victims for so long. But if you look at the suicide rate of men, and you look at the suffering that men have to go through, and how we have to go and fight the wars and all that sort, there's so much to it. And I just think men are very downtrodden at the moment.
yes,
And there's not enough for them to really feel like valued or worth anything. And you'll
yeah,
find young'uns now don't even want to. So marriages have gone down, birth
yeah,
has gone down in
yeah,
the Western world. I'm talking about,
yeah,
and there's reasons for it. There's even what they call passport bros, and these are men who are going to other countries like the Philippines and all that to get a woman who actually respects a man, cares for a man, looks after a man. Whereas
yeah,
the women of today want to get married into a rich man
yeah,
who's well off and will take care of them. And they bring, and when you say, "What do you bring to the table?" Oh, I don't like that saying. Well, what do you bring to the table? Well, I bring me. Well, what's
yeah,
that mean? Because I know what I'm bringing to the table, and it's this,
yeah,
this, 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 this
yeah.
support, protection, financial, everything. What are you bringing to the table? Well, I bring me. Well, you know what? That ain't good enough.
No, no. Well, it's only good enough if it's good enough the other way around, because I guarantee that same person wouldn't be saying to the other person, "Well, it's all right that you don't bring anything to the relationship. You know, you bring you." So
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and the thing is, one thing I want to stress very much is I am personally a feminist, and by that I mean I believe in equality. I believe in
Yes,
rights. What you're saying, and I agree with you 100%, is feminism, and what is called feminism is actually nowadays misandry, and misandry is just hating of men.
yes.
And you know, you're not a feminist, you're a misandrist. You just
I
hate
absolutely
men.
agree. The
Yeah, yeah,
original thing of a feminist was equality between men and women.
yeah,
Um, but as you say, it is not equality anymore in any way, shape, or form. It's just hating on men. But you forget, and look, equality to a certain extent. We have to also understand we are two totally different creatures,
yeah,
right? You're not going to find the average woman or many women at all building buildings, working on oil rigs, doing. You know, if there was a thing done where they asked a load of women if you could have a job which paid you nothing at all, but it was a high profile job. Would you rather do that, or would you work for 100,000 in the sewers? There was not one woman who turned around and said, "I'll take the 100 grand and work in the sewers." They did
yeah,
the same thing with men, and all the men will go. All the men turned around and said, "I'll work in the sewers for 100 grand," because
yeah,
we will do every job out there to make our money and do stuff, whereas women will pick and choose their jobs
yeah,
and they cannot do certain jobs. So
Yeah.
equality, yes, to a certain extent, but you also have to realise the limitations. But there are things that women do, like raise the kids with emotion, with love, and all that lot, which we don't have enough to the same degree.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. I do, and I think it's fine for society to have two separate genders. I don't think that
Absolutely.
really, you know, you can have two, yeah, you can have two different genders doing two different roles in society that are equal with their rights, because no person is born equal. I might have mentioned this to you before, but I did security at a festival a few years ago. I was employed as a steward because I don't have my security license. But I was there with a friend, and we met this Canadian chap, and he was talking to us, and he was talking to my friend, and he was saying, you know, about racism, saying that we're all the same, and everyone's the same on the inside. And I had to stop him there and say how wrong he was, because he'd got it completely backwards. And no two people on this planet are the same. We are all unique and different, and every single person should be looked as an individual. Every single person.
Absolutely right.
And I,
Absolutely right. Can I? Sorry, am I?
yeah,
Have
no,
you
yeah,
finished?
no,
Yeah.
no, yeah,
I look. I can speak on racism as an authority, and I'll tell you why. So when I was a kid, it was the time of the skinheads. It was back in the early 70s, going into the early 80s, and skinheads were a big thing. And the racism then was on another level. I mean, every time I walked down the street, it was Packy, go home, this, that, and the other. I was beaten up after school. Coming
yeah,
home from Cub Scouts, I had a chain put around my neck. I was put down on all fours, walked like a dog, and spat on. That was racism, right?
yeah,
And as I grew, I had a choice of either hating all white people, right? Or thinking, no, that was them at that time. Do you know what I mean? And I also, as I grew, I found racism from the other way. So I was married to a white girl at one point,
yeah,
and I ran a pub, and there was a load of Indians in there, and they started speaking in Hindi and all that lot, and they were basically saying, "Oh, look at the white girl," but they didn't know it was my wife. They had just come in. And
yeah,
so racism runs from every side to every side. So
yeah,
again, stop going on about racism, because if you really want racism, let's take you back to the 70s. And I'm talking about the young'uns who, it's the left side now, which is misogyny, patriarchy, racism, this, that, and the other. And it's all victimization. They're victims of everything, and they haven't experienced none of it. None
yeah,
of it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
don't talk to me about racism as if you know anything about. Oh no, but it's institutionalized racism, and when you go to work and it's racist, oh please, you have
yeah,
no idea about what racism is, and it
yeah,
aggravates the hell out of me, because it's exactly what you said. I judge every individual for the way they treat me. Nothing to do with their skin color, nothing to do where they're from, nothing about anything of that, their religion or nothing. If you're decent and proper, I will treat you with all the respect in the world. If
yeah.
you're a knob, then I'm going to treat you like a knob. And it is as simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's awful to hear some of the stuff you mentioned going through there, Cobra. That's truly awful. But I do agree with you, your sentiment there, 100%. That the world is changing, and the world in 2023 is so much more tolerant and accepting. You are the bad guy if you are not accepting of other people nowadays.
But
That is,
brother, I think people are accepting it because of fear. They
yeah,
are so fearful they'll lose their job, they'll be cancelled, they'll be talked against. Yet they are so fearful in universities, the place where we should be debating, the place where we should hello. Oh, I
yeah,
thought yeah, the
yeah,
place where
no,
we should be debating and talking and discussing and putting new ideas forward and being forward thinking. We are restricting the kids in how they think.
yeah, no, and that's, you know, college universities should be a place of open discussion and open
Absolutely.
forum. And it doesn't, you know, even if it's a taboo subject, if you're just discussing it, that's okay.
Yes. But what they're saying is, by even not agreeing with them, you are racist, you're misogynistic, you're patriarchal,
Yeah,
just by disagree. No, if I disagree with you, I disagree with you. And I've said it before with this wokery system of thee, theys, and non binaries and all the rest of it. I'm not doing it. I refuse to do it. I'm
yeah,
not doing all this thee, they, he, she, whatever it was, these. And some people are just making up their own ones. I
yeah,
want to be known as as free through. And what the hell is that?
Yeah, yeah.
And how the hell am I supposed to know that when I meet you?
Yeah, no, and that's the other thing, you know. I mean, I was actually saying this to somebody recently about, you know, and this might make me a bad guy, but I'm going to say it. When you meet somebody, you should have a fairly decent idea of what gender they are by how they present themselves.
Yeah.
You know, you should have a clue in that. You know, and for me, like misgendering someone the first time you met them is that the worst crime. If I went to somebody and I accidentally said, "Oh, it's she's got it over there," I'm sorry, I'm not a she, I'm a he, and I apologise and say, "Well, I do apologise."
Yeah.
You know, what's the problem with that? Going back to Jordan Peterson, the problem he's got, and the reason that the authority is coming after him is he refuses to be forced to
Yes.
use
Yes.
different.
So he doesn't want it in legislation that he has to use that. And I
Yeah,
absolutely agree.
yeah,
Yeah. Where is
absolutely.
free speech? You know, we're the free country, we've got free speech, and then you're telling us that we have to use certain pronouns or whatever.
Yeah,
No, 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 no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. And just to compound on that, he's not saying that he's not willing to do it.
Absolutely.
He's just saying he doesn't agree with being forced to do it, and that's
Absolutely
compelled
agree.
speech. And compelled speech, you know, it should never be okay. I mean, that's forcing society into being a real dystopian Orwellian
Yeah.
right
But
there.
the left are really basically telling people they've even gone to the point of saying no, it isn't just male and female, and you can't be assigned these genders at birth. Absolutely, you can. There is male, female, scientifically by chromosomes, by genders, by what you know, everything.
Yeah,
Um, there absolutely is. So no, you can actually say that is a male and that is a female. And if someone feels different, look, there's that whole thing of disability morphia or whatever, where someone feels that they're an amputee or they shouldn't have an arm or a limb. And if they went to the doctor and said, right, I need my arm cut off, you're not going to cut off their arm. You're going
no,
to help them
yeah,
with, you know, mental health treatment and all that sort of stuff. So,
yeah,
in the same token, if you don't feel right in your body, you don't feel that you're a male, etc., etc., it doesn't mean that you go and have an operation to chop it off or to have hormone treatment. You need help to adjust to how you're feeling and all that lot, I believe. I'm not saying it's easy and I'm not putting them down. I don't feel any way against trans or anything like that. But to turn around and tell the whole of society that we have to change is totally wrong. And then to say, yeah, women can go, or men who believe they're women can go into women's sports and
yeah,
all that, you
yeah.
have totally ruined what the whole fight for women's rights were and equality and all that sort of stuff. Totally ruined it.
Yeah, I mean that's an issue. Like biological males going into female toys.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to stop you. John's leaving. John's going. I've just noticed on the messages. Apologies, John, if you've
Oh,
already gone, but thank you so much for joining us. If you are still sort of hanging on for us
yes.
to stop talking.
Yeah, sorry, we got into it there, John. I do apologise, we missed that. It's been amazing having you as always, John, my friend. Thank you so much, and you enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm just seeing he's got to be up early in the morning, so yes, no, that's it's been awesome having you there, John. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a difficult one because I consider, well, my whole life I consider myself to be a very liberal person. Now the problem is what the term liberal refers to nowadays is not what I associate myself as, because you know, if you say you're liberal, people think woke.
Yeah,
And you know, being liberal is probably means you're somewhere in the middle and you see things both ways, you know. And you know, you're not going to say people on the right are always wrong or people on the left are
yeah,
always wrong, you know, because I definitely see some you know, I do see points in both sides. But I do think you know, when you've got 5-year-old girls being confronted with penises in a
yeah.
female toilet, that's an issue.
Well, I
uh,
mean, it's that, and it's also what they're teaching them at a very young age.
yeah,
Some of the books that are coming into the young children's schools, and what they're teaching them in the way of you can be anything you want, literally, to where you have kids going, well, I'm a wolf, or you know, I am a female if he's a male, and all that. Not because they have felt that from birth or anything, because they're being told that if you want to be a girl, you can be a girl.
yeah,
No, that's not how it works.
No, yeah, it's not, and children should not be like, okay, if you get to be an adult, right, and you've got no, you're not suffering with depression, there's nothing wrong with you, you're perfectly happy with yourself, but you feel on Tuesday you want to go through a sex change operation, and that's what's going to make your life better as an adult. I completely support your decision to do that. I do. It's, I don't think it should be banned or anything like that. It should be, like, where I get a huge issue, where I get the biggest problem is when you have minors, as in children, as in young prepubescent children, being subjected to sex change operations and chemical
Absolutely
castration.
horrific. Horrific.
It's abuse. It's abuse. It's child
Absolutely.
that is, and how these people have been allowed to do it, I don't know. It's leading to a stupid amount of suicides when these children get older.
Yes.
They,
Yep.
you, would you allow a child to decide, if it wants to go out and get drunk?
Bro,
No.
they can't go and get a tattoo,
Yeah.
but they can get a bit chopped off.
Yeah, it's insanity. It truly is insanity, and it's all it is. It's virtue signaling to the highest.
Yes. Yes. And our society is breaking down. All of this stuff we have covered maybe in the last half hour or whatever it's been, 20 minutes, whatever. All this stuff, the radical feminism, the wokery, all of this stuff is breaking down our society. And then you'll get these radical females as well who'll turn around and say, well, you need to stop being masculinity, it's toxic masculinity. Let me tell you something. There isn't a woman out there who wants a feminine man. They want a masculine man. They want a man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And yet they'll be the ones turning around going, yeah, you should be able to show your emotions. And you listen, if I want to show my emotions, I will. But as a man, I hold things and I fight on, and that's what we are. You know what I mean? In general, that's what we are. We fight. Oh, but that's toxic masculinity. It's a social environment that's made you like that. No, it's not. It's how I am.
Yeah.
It's
No,
how I am.
it's life that's made us like that, because
Yeah.
society makes life a lot easier, but it isn't an easy thing to actually get out there and survive and make money when everybody wants it and everybody's competing with you for what is available to get. It's all right saying toxic masculinity, this, and there is absolutely such a thing as toxic masculinity. It's called chauvinism.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're not chauvinistic, if you're just a masculine man, you like doing manly stuff. There is nothing toxic about that, and you're 100% right about what you're saying. Guarantee, no woman out there wants to actually be with a sensitive man. They may say that they want a man who's sensitive, but when the reality of it comes home and they sat there at night and all they've got is him crying on their shoulder about how fair it is that this is happening, that's happening in the world, they are going to get sick of that so bloody quick.
Women want a strong man to protect them, to be their support, to comfort them with their emotions and all that. But as you say, if we come home crying every day because work has been so hard and I'm exhausted, I'm not earning the money and the bills are getting to me and all that lot, they're not going to feel very secure, are they?
No.
They're not going to feel like they're protected and they've got their man by their side. They're going to feel like, oh my God, everything's falling apart.
Yeah, no.
And now tell me you want me to be, more emotional. No, please, give me a break.
It's a trap, because if you actually become all these things like they say you should be because of toxic masculinity, etc., you will just fail in everything. You will be taken advantage of. You've got to be a strong. No, don't be cruel, but be strong. You've got to know when to say no. Don't say no just for the sake of saying no. Be helpful and giving and kind.
Of course.
But don't let anyone and I know you know this, Cobra, I'm just saying for the sake of the conversation, but don't ever let anyone take advantage of you. You know what I mean? And that's not toxic. That's just getting ahead in life.
And this is, look, the whole thing of marriage and the way it is, like, my missus is amazing. I swear to you, bruv, you don't understand, right? She's so loving and caring, and she supports me as a woman supporting her man. And she'll cook for me and she'll take care of my clothes and all that. And she loves to do it for me. And I give her everything. Do you know what I mean? I give her everything. I make sure she is totally happy, emotionally supported, financially supported. Though she works and she's got a great job. So don't get me wrong. She's got her own money. But you know, it's a great combination. But the way a lot of the younger women are thinking now is not about that support for their man. It's about what they can get from the man, and that's where it's breaking down. And our
You know,
whole society is breaking down with it.
yeah, and do you know what? This is to answer CPM's most recent question: what is breaking? Why is it breaking down, really, chaps? What's the real core problem? And I'm gonna. I mean, obviously, give me your answer afterwards, Cobra. But for me,
Yeah.
the core of the problem is you've got to look at the youth. That's why society is changing as much as it is, because the change is being driven by the youth, not by the people who are old and set in the ways and you know, are used to how it used to be. Now, I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to go out there and say it. We've got the OnlyFans society now. You know, you've got
Oh yes,
women growing
yes,
up, learning that all they have to do is, you know, flash a bit of flesh on the internet, and you've got these older men who will throw the money at them, and they know they can do it.
brother. Here's the big problem with that, and you are absolutely right. So, the whole thing is that women are being taught now, or girls are being taught now, you need to be a strong, independent woman. You don't
Yeah,
need a man. That's what they're being told. You do not need a man. You need to be strong and independent. So what's happening is, as you said, OnlyFans has become a thing where they can earn more money than they've ever dreamt of. And I mean, some of these girls are earning extortionate amounts of money.
you've
So
got
they
the
go on
problem.
there and they parade themselves. And the first thing is, you've got to remember that women have always said that men objectify us sexually, and all the rest of it. Well, you're bloody doing it for yourself now, aren't you? You're going out there and you are putting yourself out there. That's the
Yeah,
first point. The second thing is, once they've done that OnlyFans when they're young and they're beautiful and all the rest of it, and they've earned a load of money, one, they don't know how to spend that money properly or invest it properly. Some might, but in general, they don't. So they'll
yeah,
go out and they'll rent or they'll buy a house which is a certain amount of money, and they'll live a lifestyle to that certain amount of money. Then when their looks go, and you have to remember, every couple of years there's more girls, or every year,
yeah,
coming
yeah,
onto these platforms who are younger and more beautiful as you're getting older.
yeah,
So as your money starts declining now monthly, because people aren't concentrating on you, or the blokes ain't concentrating on you so much now, they're going to the younger ones. You start losing your income, but yet your expenses are now high, right? So now you have a breakdown where you cannot sustain your lifestyle. Now
yeah,
you get to a certain age and you think, right, I want a decent man and he has to earn good money because I'm used to a certain amount of lifestyle and all the rest. But all your decent men who are earning big money are not going to go for you, because you've paraded your body all over that internet for
yeah,
God knows how many years, and everyone has seen every part of you. And now you want to find the decent man.
yeah,
Well, the decent man isn't interested. The bums are interested.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
this is where it breaks down. And
yeah,
then, as I say, it's such a thing of men are not needed. I'm a strong, independent woman. I can do everything. But then when you need a man, then it all changes. Or even going on dates. And, you know, if someone was to say 50-50, which I would never do, I agree. A man should, you know, go out on a date and pay.
yeah.
Um, TSC, you have set Cobra off with this OnlyFans. Yeah, because it makes me angry, bruv. It makes
Well, it
me
makes me
really
angry
angry.
for the same reasons.
And so they've broken down the whole thing, and then they don't trust men, the women. They're like, no, men have always been this and they've always been that, and blah blah, and they don't commit to the man in a relationship.
Yeah,
And so the men are chucking them out. And you're getting people now on TikToks and all that, girls in their 30s crying their eyes out, I can't find a man, I'm lonely, I'm this, I'm that. But it's the whole cause of society which has done that. And
yes.
that's where we're breaking down.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. You know, you take the words out of my mouth. The only thing I'd add, and I said, you know, I you know, may not have heard a bit say because it was when you were talking, but you know, when you were saying about how much money they're making, it's to the point where you can't even blame them for doing it. I mean, if you like, say, if your options are going to a supermarket checkout or a factory or any other minimum wage job, and busting your arse off, because minimum wage jobs, you normally find you're the
Oh,
ones that you're made to work harder for that money. It's
yeah,
crazy. It's
yeah.
no sense. So you bust your arse off for minimum wage, or you can spend literally 15 minutes dancing around,
Mm,
twerking, with clothes on, and
yeah.
make probably a month, you know, a week or a month's salary. And
Brother, these girls, some of them are earning 50,000, 100,000 a month.
yeah,
No
yeah,
word of a lie.
So you can't blame them. So this bit goes out to the guys. This one's to the guys, and this is me having a go at the guys. Stop doing it. Stop being simps. Stop
Yes.
sending money to women
Yes.
online. Just go out, meet a girl, chat to her, get on with her, and have a good relationship. Because I promise you now, when you get a connection with someone, that means so much more than looks. You don't even care.
Brother, I 100% agree with you. Stop it, men. Stop it. Do you know what I mean? Stop going on OnlyFans. What the hell are you paying for, man? Jesus, it's pathetic.
It
And you're
is.
right.
No, it is.
And the thing is, the younger generation now in the men are, with all this wokery and all the rest, they are becoming simps, bruv.
Yeah.
They ain't got no cojones about them now to say no to anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it is, bruv. I mean, really, it aggravates me. It's making me so angry when I see all this going on because our society is breaking down.
It is
Absolutely breaking
completely.
down.
It is completely breaking down, and people don't understand how badly it is breaking down. And when you get people on these channels like ours saying, how fragile the economic system is, and it's a Jenga tower, and you only have to remove a wrong block, and it all comes crashing down. The young don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't have enough life. Well, majority of them. Obviously, there's some people out there, that are just born with a great head on the shoulders. But it's me when I was young. It's everyone, because you've not got enough life experience at that point to know how a lot of these things work out. And I'm talking like 18 to mid-20s. Like mid-20s, you started to get a bit of an idea about things, haven't you? You know what I mean? I think that's why you see a lot of the younger stackers. Like the youngest ones are about 26 years old, like TSS and Future Investments. Because I think mid-20s is probably when 25, I think people can agree, that's when you started to get your head
But
together.
some people, bruv, not all.
No,
it's only a minority at that age.
Yeah. But and as you get a bit older, you get more and more and more. And by the time you hit 30, and most people have settled down, etc., etc. But that's the point. At those young ages, there's no way you could know this stuff. It's not a criticism.
But you know what the sad thing is? Why aren't they teaching this sort of stuff in schools?
That is sad,
because they don't want people to know.
No, yes, because they will, and they are the elites rely on the system being the way it is. When we were talking about racism earlier, I'm glad you brought that up, because people need to understand when it comes to racism, this is being taught by the people in control and power, because they're making us fight amongst ourselves.
It's a simple thing which has been used by colonists and empires and all that. Divide and conquer. And it doesn't just work on countries, it works in simple society. Divide and conquer.
Absolutely. Divide the masses is to make it so much easier. If you can't conquer them, if they're united. So we've always got, and this is what people mean about the media, that like controlling you and lying to you. It's the people who own these media companies, they have an agenda, and they tailor the news to get a desired result out of it. Now, if they want people to hate each other, they'll just, what we have to do is run a story about how a Muslim did something. Rather than just saying somebody did this, it'll be emphasised that it was done by a certain kind of person, because it spreads division.
Brother, this is what has happened so many times, and we see it again and again and again. And people fall into this trap of rhetoric. Do you know what I mean? So all the time, you're right, absolutely, with the Muslim side of things. So they wanted to go to war with Iraq. They wanted to go into the Islamic States and all that lot because of oil and all that sort of stuff. So unless you get the people on your side with something like that by saying Islam, radicals, this, that, and the other. And there are radicals. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, every Muslim is perfect. But what I'm saying is it was a very small proportion of radical Muslims, but they made it out that all Muslims were like this and Islam was bad, and therefore we should go in there and get rid of heads of states. I mean, the CIA, was it CIA or CIA, have made so many assassinations, right, on heads of state to take over countries and put their puppets in there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is, and things like that with the CIA, etc. It's when you start, and this is what we've said before in our chats about conspiracies. Like, a lot of the conspiracies out there, No, well, a lot of people that are discussing conspiracies are actually on the payroll by the CIA. People don't know this. This is actually true, and there's records of people out there who get donations and retainers from the CIA, and they're used as misinformation agents. And basically, what they do is they say, "Look, you can do whatever you want, get whatever research you want. You can find the truth yourself, but you're not allowed to tell everyone. Whatever you
Yeah,
find, you come to us. Tell us, and we'll let you know." And what they'll do is they'll take those real things that are really happening, they'll jumble it up with a load of absolute nonsense,
yeah,
tarnishes it all. So if you hear any of it, including the little bit that was real,
yeah,
you might assume, oh, well, it's crazy conspiracy talk.
yeah. It's misinformation. It's all misinformation. They live on it. They
Yeah,
absolutely live on it.
they
And
literally
you're
do.
right. The
Yeah,
media is the puppets of these people. The media put out what they need to put out. And it's been proven. If you watch a load of channels, they will all come out with literally the same script on a certain subject.
yeah, yeah.
Literally the same script.
I've actually seen that done, Cobra, where someone who's done a video, basically bringing this kind of thing to life,
Yeah,
took the 1 day's
yeah,
and then took
news.
clips of all the news, and it was verbose. It was word for word. Every single station was
Absolutely.
saying the exact same thing. It was like, wow, yeah, no. When you see that, you can see how controlled it is and how
Yeah,
people are. They're being told what to tell you, and I don't blame people because the news should. What people think the news is, it's something you can look at and it's what's happening. It's the truth. It's the
yeah,
gospel.
yeah,
It's the news. So when you've got people manipulating the news and lying about it, it's not society's fault for thinking one way or another. And you can understand why people are so easily swayed by the media, because these are the people that you rely on, go to for this for trust.
absolutely. CPM has just put in the messages, or he put a couple of messages, but we've been too busy talking. One of them was the chessboard, guys, the chessboard. And he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
He's put something else again now. I can't read my messages easily while I'm
We'll
on this
Zoom
thing.
with him sometime. And yeah, no, we have definitely got to do a Zoom
Yeah,
call
yeah.
to keep them
But
on there.
but but he's absolutely right. So one of his videos some time ago, I was so impressed with it because he had a chessboard and some Monopoly money and this and that and the other, and he told a whole story around it about where we were on this chessboard, or what we were, like the little pawns or whatever it was, and he was right that we don't know exactly what's going on this chessboard. The 1% of those really that elite are up there making decisions, feeding it down to certain institutions, feeding it down even into economics with the Fed and all the rest of it. And we are the little puppets at the bottom. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. We are not in a free country.
No,
And America is not a free country. And when people rave about it, we're in a free country. No, we're not. We
no.
are the little slaves. We are the slaves of today. We
Yeah,
work and we work and we work all our life. We're indoctrinated with our education, as we can see right now, with how they're changing the way kids are thinking. They indoctrinate us with what they want us to learn. Then we have to go out and become, decent members of society and work and work and work to pay tax upon tax upon tax, right? To put money back into the system. And then eventually we retire. And before we can even enjoy part of our life, we're given little snippets of holidays and this and that to enjoy. But before we can enjoy it, we're already too ill to bloody do anything about anything. So
yeah.
we are the slaves. This is not a free country. The freest country to me, bruv,
Go on.
is a little village out in the rainforest in Africa or wherever, where they
Yeah.
have nothing and they literally live off the land, and they
Oh,
sit round a fire and they laugh and they entertain each other and they have fun and all that lot, and they go out and they hunt their food. They are free.
yeah. That is
We
freedom.
are
That
not.
is freedom. And freedom isn't necessarily easy, but that is
No,
freedom.
no. But
I
we
agree
think
with
we're
you.
in these great societies and we have everything and blah blah blah. We don't. And who was it who said that saying? You will have nothing and you will be happy.
That was through the Great Reset. That was the motto of the Great Reset.
Yeah,
Everyone have nothing, but they will be happy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And all this going back to this universal payment thing and all that lot is all towards that. We'll
yeah,
have nothing, but we'll be happy. We'll be given a little handout just to keep us all right, and we'll be happy.
Yeah, yeah. I think an aspect, or at least how it was presented to me, I think an aspect of that is also physical property or ownership of physical property. They wanting to be a thing of the past. So nowadays and going forward, they want it so you like you're leasing everything. Everything you've got is on a long-term lease. And if you look at it, and this there's been a few court cases in the past about mobile phones because there's a thing now. If you actually read your the terms and conditions, especially with Apple, you don't actually own the phone. It's on a long-term lease to you by the company. They actually continue to own it. There's, it's craziness. There's a lot of craziness to it. I mean, the problem is people don't realise. Can you remember the chop? Do you know what the chop is or the Chaz?
Tell me about it. I might know. I might not know it by that name.
Yeah, yeah. So because you might know about it. So during the lockdowns and all the riots in America during 2020, when things got to its really highest point, there was actually in Capitol Hill. There was a conglomerate of people, these protesters, and they actually cornered off this entire area. And at first, it was called the Chaz, and the Chaz stood for the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, and it was basically a mini civil war during lockdowns. It was funny, and they just took this area in Capitol Hill, and it was basically a hippie commune, and they were trying to grow produce in these fields, and it was ridiculous to see them doing it. They had no idea what they were doing about growing crops or etc. But then with the name being Chaz, people were like saying, well, hold on, they're saying they're autonomous to the United States of America. What are you doing about that? So very quickly it got changed from Chaz to CHOP, which was the Capitol Hill occupied protest. So it went from being an zone, which is we're autonomous to the United States to being no, it's an occupied, we're occupying this place as a protest. That's what it is. It's nothing more than that. And it was awful. It was insanity. People were dying, and these within the people within there, one of theirs would be dying because people were walking around with guns and there was no law there, and they wouldn't let ambulances in to come and help them.
Wow. I didn't know about that. I actually didn't know about that at all. I'm surprised that I hadn't heard about it. But hang on, what have you both think about
psychedelics?
Psychedelics.
Yeah, as in psilocybin, mushrooms, DMT, dimethyl, whatever. I researched them. I think they're great. I mean, it's interesting stuff. It's very interesting stuff. I love watching Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's a big advocate of dimethyltryptamine, DMT, and it intrigues me. And there's a lot to it.
I'm just going to stop you 1 minute. Mrs. Cobra Stack has just walked in. So say hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, Mrs. Cobra, how are you doing? I'm good, thank you.
I'm very well, thank you.
It's awesome. It's amazing to meet you.
Thank you, same here.
We've been going 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
She's been out. She's just come in. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about you as well.
It's amazing to... No, I was just saying it's amazing to meet with Mrs. Cobra Stack because she's far more famous than both of me and you put together, Cobra.
Absolutely right.
Very kind of you.
Absolutely right. She is.
You guys are the original. I'm just faking it.
Hey, that's what we're doing too.
I think on tomorrow's video, which is coming out, there's a little clip of Mrs. Cobra Stacker and CPM. You're going to be very interested in what she's done. Very interesting.
I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
That's the guiltiest.
Bro, when you see it tomorrow, you are going to laugh your head off. And CPM, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's a lot better looking. Yeah, you're right. You're right, CPM. She is a hell of a lot better looking than me.
Absolutely.
I'll let you guys talk about important stuff, and I will just. Right, have a good night, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Cobra. You too. Have a good night.
Night, baby. Yeah, sorry, Rob. Sorry, I had to say hello or let her say hello there.
That's brilliant. No, I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, I can't remember exactly what we were talking about before we interrupted me. Psychedelics, wasn't it, with creative person metals? I don't know. I mean,
What are you talking about? Are we talking about trips and magic mushrooms and all that?
magic mushrooms. Yeah, magic mushrooms. That
How
kind.
have we even got onto that subject?
Because creative person metals put in the comments, what do you both think of about psychedelics?
Oh my God, I don't even know whether I should say anything or keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, no, I'm being diplomatic on this one.
Yeah, maybe when we meet in person, we can all sit down and have a little chat about it. I
Yeah.
don't know if I want to put that out here.
Yeah, I mean, I could sit here and have a conversation about psychedelics because it's something that I find very interesting. Now, if one because he's asked a question about psychedelics, I'm going to give an answer. I'm going to tell you something that I think you'll find really, really interesting. So LSD, you've of course heard of LSD, which I believe most people will have. That is derived from a mold known as ergot. And that comes from wheat. And the interesting thing about that is, the reason I bring it up is in the Middle Ages, when you had people thinking that they were werewolves, it's now believed that they might have been getting ergot poisoning. And so basically, we're tripping on wheat mold, which was making them,
Wow.
they were having a psychedelic trip, which was making them think that they were a wolf or whatever. And they believe they now believe that's what was causing people to believe that we were werewolves or demons or whatever, which was quite prolific at this period of time. I think in France.
That might make sense, but I think the trips that nowadays people take are purely chemical. I don't think there's anything like
Yeah,
that
no, it's
now.
synthesized. Yeah. It's so LSD itself is nowadays is synthesized, but it is derived from ergot. It's like mescaline as well. That's another synthesized drug, but that was originally developed by the Native Americans for the spirit walks. You'd eat some, about an hour later you'd throw up. They believe that was your demons purging from your body, and then you'd go on this trip, and that was the spirit walk. So I mean, same as I say, I'm interested in things like how psychedelics have affected people in history and their uses. There's another one called Mad Honey, which is brilliantly interesting. So I could hold a conversation about psychedelics, absolutely, without ever having taken one myself. So it is a brilliantly.
And this is the problem, bro. I could tell you some information, but I can't say the sentence you just said. I mean, it was a long time ago, but and that's why I'm really trying to keep quiet on this one.
Yeah. No, anyway, I think we've given a more than a good enough response to that question. Creative person.
I think you did brilliantly. Yes, you did give a very good response.
So we'll move on from that one. If we have
CPM, no, I'm not going to go for it. I'll talk to you privately on that one.
Yeah, we have other
questions. It was a very long time ago.
And we want to say to Anima Tooney, hi, it's great to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi there, thank you for joining us, Anthony. Nice one.
Sorry, it's Anima Tooney.
Oh, my apologies. Well, if you've just stumbled into one of our live chats where we started off talking about precious metals, coins, bullion, and we actually did really, really well. And a good hour and a half of the conversation was on that. And now we get on to the point where we go into conspiracy theories and putting the world to rights. So if you're into that, join in, ask any questions you want to ask us personally, or if you want to bring up a subject that you'd like us to discuss. We are reasonably well versed in a few things in life, so please join in.
And we'll happily give an opinion on most subjects, at least.
I mean, the thing is, we've got 5 people watching.
Yeah.
And the only one commenting is CPM.
Yes. No. Which I get that. A lot of people, they enjoy watching, they enjoy being part of a video, but not necessarily being part of the live chat. I encourage as many people as possible to come and be part of the live chat. Everyone literally is welcome, but if anyone does prefer just to sit back, and I guess with these long lives, a lot of people will probably have them podcasts in the background while they're working. Or
yeah. True.
or doing things where they, where they
Well,
can't.
for those of you who have got it on a podcasty type thing, I have zoomed in on my dragon with the light, and I just think that looks wicked.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. I mean, the way that light is making it look as though the I'll call it a dragon is
Yeah.
breathing fire. Me, me and Cobra had a conversation earlier, because I am the world's biggest dragon nerd. Well, I'm not, but I'm up there. And to a normal person, that thing on screen will be a dragon. Like, to a normal person, absolutely dragon all day long. But to a dragon nerd, they will realise that that's actually a wyvern and not a dragon. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And I knew this, so I got this piece, and I knew it wasn't a dragon, and it was a wyvern. I call it wyvern, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, tomato.
But I thought no one else is going to pick up on that. It's absolutely fine. No, CPM, don't shut up. Please do not shut up, because it helps us with our chat. So carry on. And Crazy, I'm listening in the... Oh, and enjoying it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Brilliant stuff. So, yeah, so I bought these things, and I thought, yeah, I was pulling out these dragon coins, and I wanted something in the background or whatever the situation was. And I thought, no one's going to notice it's not a dragon. It looks like a dragon. It is a dragon. No, I get a message from the stat collector going, I just wanted to point out that's not actually a dragon. And I thought, are you serious, bruv? I mean, I know it's not, but you really had to point that out. Yeah, you weren't really paying attention to the coins then, were you?
Well, I did. No, I had to play it up. That was like instantly, as soon as I saw it, like, pause, that's not a dragon. Like, carry on. I had
So
to.
I made a deal with him, and I said, if ever you see one of my not dragons out there again, you're not allowed to point it out. I do realise what's what. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, I promise no more dragon critique comments.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant.
No, it's great. No, the second that video started, my brain just went into overload. I didn't know where to look or what to do. I was just like, right, what cool.
Knew you would be listening to these two clowns. CPM. Listen, CPM, you could be the third clown. If we knew how to link 3 people into this, you could be the third one, because you're exactly the same as us. So don't make out that you're any different, right?
we have to call that episode the 3 Stacking Stooges.
Yeah, no, we really do. And the thing is, he's like us. He does chat away. Like me and him, honestly, the conversations we start, I think we were having a really big conversation about something earlier, and then I got a phone call and I had to take it, and I forgot to ring him back. So sorry about that, CPM. But he just chats away like we do, and it will just swap into one subject to another, to another, to another. And I absolutely love the conversations with him. But we really do have to get it going like that. We have to have one.
Yeah, no, we do. I mean, the unfortunate thing is it's not probably going to be a live event, because with the Zooms, it's something we'd probably have to pre-record and then upload. But we could at least do it as a premiere and be there chatting with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is, on the coin show, he's going to be there as well, and I'm sure we'll go for a little drink or a little bite to eat or something, and we'll end up putting the world to rights, because that's the type of thing we do. The thing is, you're a lot younger than us, aren't you?
I am quite a bit younger than you.
How old are you?
I'm 40 next.
Wow, so you're only 39 at the moment.
Yeah, for a couple.
But you've got honestly, right? Not trying to blow smoke up you, but you've got such a good head on you, bro. You really have. You're well versed in a lot of subjects. You really are.
Thank you, and so are you. I don't know. I've had a lot of time on my hands at different times in my life to look into stuff and research and review stuff, and I do try and keep myself open to things, and
no, it's refreshing, bruv. It really, really is refreshing to have someone of your age, and I'm sure CPM will agree. He's put a baby. I'm so jealous, but I'm sure he'll agree. Really, bruv, you don't get many people at your age who are so well versed, because to be so well versed at your age, you have got to have been looking into things from a lot younger age.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I've been extremely lucky in a lot of ways. That you know, I've had things presented to me at the right time in my life, and it's, you know, it's led me on my own journey of discovery. Um, you know, I definitely, I'm one of those people. I get out there and I talk to all different kinds of people,
Yeah,
and listen to all. You know, I love listening to what we've got to say about different things, and I've worked. You know, I've worked with me elbows literally deep in feces in certain
yeah.
jobs in the time, and I've worked at jobs where I've been the big dog in the office, you know,
Absolutely,
and
and
and I
that's
think,
what makes you more grounded as well. And you know, I've said it before. I was in the same boat. I left home at a very young age, and I was working in factories and dustbin rounds and road sweeping and all sorts. And I've also made it really well in business now and all that sort of stuff. Um, and it does make you a lot more well versed and a lot more balanced, I think.
yeah, yeah, I think it does because, you know, when I think some people you know, they go down one very narrow chute in life. Like, you know, so we don't know what we're going to do, and we leave school straight into university, straight into the job that we always knew that we were going to do, and you
Yeah,
know, still hang around with the same friends that we always hung around with, or maybe be like new friends that we met at work that become the new friends forever. I had this thing I used to say, and you know, it's one of those things that sounds like insane if you don't click what I mean, but you know, the planet we live in, planet Earth, there's literally billions of planet Earths right here, because this planet is so different to so many different people. The experience that people have
yeah.
is just so crazily different. They basically live on a completely different planet to other people in other parts of the world, and it's not different. It's the same planet. The point I'm
No,
making
I
is,
get it. Their
yeah,
experiences, their life experiences, and how they perceive the world as well, how they
yeah,
perceive their society, how they perceive, you know, someone born into wealth, who is sort of not groomed is the wrong word probably, but yeah, in a way groomed
yeah,
into
yeah,
a certain job and a certain way of life,
yeah,
will
yeah.
have a very different experience of the world to someone who's had to struggle all their lives to get to wherever, you know?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. I think you're right, groomed. I mean, the problem is, as soon as you say groomed, the word now has connotations to something else.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's perfectly, yeah, yeah, no, life grooms people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it grooms them down a certain channel or a different channel. You know, like I said, you know, because we've got us, you know, maybe the dad was a certain job, and their dad before that was the same job, and so now they're going to do the same. Live the same life as what they do. I'll give you an example. When I was on holiday years ago, in fact, it was it was my diving buddy when I qualified as a paddy scuba diver.
Yeah.
Um, Now, we were put together by the dive school. I got qualified on holiday while I was in Hawaii, and the person I got qualified with, who was my dive partner, was a chap called Ben Pearson. Now, he has a bit of a claim to fame because the modern recurve bow in archery, so that's a bow that looks like a traditional bow.
Yeah.
Uh, the one that can the takedown one, so the takedown version is one that you can take apart and carry in bits rather than having this big bow that you got to lug around everywhere. His granddad invented that, and so yeah, money come from money. These are you know, like heirs of family fortunes kind of thing, and the chap was Ben Pearson the third. His dad was Ben Pearson the second, and his
Wow.
granddad was Ben Pearson the first. So the reason I'm saying it is, how groomed can you be to the point
Yeah.
where you've got the same name?
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. So you're going to follow in those footsteps, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like, no, it's just one continual person. We're just Ben Pearson forever, and
The genes go down, the intelligence goes down, everything we know goes down, and it stays the same.
yes, we will tell you how you act and what you do. You are Ben Pearson, and this is who Ben Pearson is. When I'm done being Ben Pearson, I will retire, and you shall become Ben Pearson. Ben,
Absolutely
if you're
brilliant.
watching, mate, I'm sorry. I love you. You're a great guy. You were, and I'm sorry to use you in this.
Oh, mate, absolutely brilliant.
That
So
is
I
bad,
turned
isn't it?
around to the missus when she walked in. I said, "Oh, we've been on for 2 hours. We've
Yeah.
actually been on for nearly 3 hours."
Yes, I think it's actually, yeah, it's just gone 11, so it's actually just over 3 hours. So we will get winding down soon. I was going to hope for a quick 1 hour tops today, but the conversation has
But
gone once again. And I
I
think it's
think
been,
I think we've covered some amazing subjects. I mean, going from bullion for a good part of it, and
yeah,
proofs and all the rest of it, and a bit of Bitcoin and a bit of this and that, and then going on to the subjects we've talked about, and me getting quite not emotional. What's the word? About
real,
wokery and feminism and all
yeah,
that sort of stuff.
with it, mate. Speaking from the heart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, it's
no,
been incredible.
I appreciate that, and I think that's what these lives are about. Like we're going to do videos that are just coins and precious metals. That's for channels, but the lives are us. This is us as people. So there's obviously more to us than precious metals.
Yes, yes,
And that's what I love about the live. I mean, a few people have said return podcast to me recently, and with the lives, that's the kind of thing I'm going for. Something that's would be enjoyable to listen along to, and isn't just going on about the same thing over and over again. I like the fact that we do have these diverse conversations, and I love the fact that how interactive it is, and that a lot of we've spoke about this before. Cobra, but these lives remind me a little bit of live action books,
okay,
because depending where we go with our little live adventure depends on what gets put in the comments that we're
yeah,
reading. So
yeah.
it's like, will we go to page 53 and fight the dragon, or will we go to page 78 and return back to the box and whence at the tavern? So like, yeah, I love how different the conversation can get, and I embrace that, and I encourage it. So yeah, it's great to have someone like you over who's very similar to me in that respect, and I can't wait.
Absolutely, I think they're brilliant. It's like yourself and CPM. I thoroughly enjoyed the chat. I was looking forward to this, and when you said that, look, future investments might be busy and all that, like I was like, look, 100%. If you're up for it, give me a shout. And I'm glad you've put it on your channel as well, bruv. It's about time you had it on your channel. You know what I mean? Because you're a great host to actually chat with, because you lead the conversation so well as well.
Well, thank you very much, buddy. And no, it is good to have them on my channel. I have done a few lives on my channel before. I do like getting out there and being on other people's channel, and I do laugh about it and say, that's the YouTube fanboy in me, because I go like afterwards. I go, guess what? I was on this guy's channel. Wow, and I do, because I'm a new channel, and I'm doing this because of my love of other people's channels. So I'm a big fanboy to a lot of channels out there. I religiously watch all the videos, and yourself is definitely one of them. Yeah, CPM is another one. CPM, I know you're recovering, buddy, and you're a very, very quick recovery, but do recover quickly and get some more content out for us, mate, because I am chomping at the bit. And it's just a lot of fun to have a chat with you guys.
Yeah, definitely. And I know CPM now has got a couple of weeks off, and I think you're going to see, in the next couple of days, he'll start getting some content out, and then I think it's just going to flow, because he's going to be bored as hell sitting at home.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see a lot of good stuff coming out of there. So I'm looking forward to that. But I will say, look, tomorrow's video, you have got to watch it, bruv. It gets released at 10 a.m. in the morning. And it's showing you some more coins from the Pressburg Mint, not the watch collection. It's actually Equilibrium and Terra. But at the end of it, what Mrs. Cobra Stacker has done is just hilarious. And CPM, I know you're going to absolutely crack up when you see what happens.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. And just to let you know, Cobra, my video tomorrow, which I don't normally do a video on a Monday. I try and aim for Tuesday and Friday, but my video tomorrow is one that you particularly have to watch.
Okay.
A couple of the other content creators out there. It's a big one. I don't want to give it too much away, because it's been asked. I've been asked to keep it a bit of a surprise, but yes, I have a very big video coming out tomorrow, which will be tomorrow evening, probably around 6 or 7 p.m. But yes, I'm not going to give too much away right now. But yeah, you definitely need to watch that one, man.
Well, I'm working on a night shift tomorrow, but I'm on a job where I've got my dog with me and all that lot, and I have plenty of time to sit down and watch stuff. So 100% I'll do that. And then I'm really looking forward, obviously, to Tuesday with the premiere going out there. And yeah, I mean, just to let you know, and the few people who are watching, 6 hours it took me to film 40 minutes worth of stuff. 6
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
But it's a full stack reveal, and I may throw in a couple of little bits in the chat if there's enough people there, and do a little something special apart from the giveaway that I'm doing on that one as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, it should be fun. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm going to try and get as many people over here as possible because I definitely want to see. I'll respond to it in a second. I definitely want to see someone win one of those Cobra rounds. They're amazingly beautiful pieces. Creators Press Metals. I've thought about it, not necessarily live, but I've thought about maybe doing a few clips and try and getting silver in with me cutting the tree down in the background or something. I'm trying to. This is my creative juices going, and in my head. I'm trying to figure out how I'm doing it. But I'm you know, I've got some cool kit. I've got some cool chainsaws and stuff like that. But I think there's, you know, something is telling me there's a way I can do this and get these into my videos. So I don't know. There's something I've always wanted to try, which is very stupid and very dangerous, but it's very, very cool. And it's when. What you do is you get an old chainsaw and where you put the chain oil in, which lubricates the chain.
Right.
Instead of putting chain oil in it, you put petrol in it, and
Flaming chainsaw.
yeah, because it was, instead of like putting oil on the chain, it will just spit petrol out, and yeah, it's just a chainsaw spitting fire out like a dragon, and same as I say, stupidly dangerous, but so cool, so
But what
cool.
an amazing effect if you get it right.
If you get it right and you don't blow your hand off, yeah, 100%. Which is why I've not done it as of yet. But I mean, I have seen people do that before, and I was like, wow, that does look epic. But yeah, I mean, I like to think I'm a little bit creative as well, and I do. I'm always thinking how I can do more creative things, and I try. Especially with the shorts, I love to try and get a bit creative with the shorts, like with the Dumbledore one. I've got it that one where I've done it and filmed it, so it spins round, and whilst it's spinning round, I actually flip the coin round. So when it turns round and does a full, it's showing the other side of the coin. You can't tell when it flips over, so that was quite cool to do.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I do like letting the creative juices flow a little bit, like yourself, creative.
Well, I turned around to creative and I said, in my life in general, because of what I was doing for work and everything else, I have never really been creative, believe it or not artistic, not anything. And just in doing this, in the last, I don't know, month and a half or so, when I moved studios a couple of times, I've really, I don't know, I've got a buzz out of trying to make nice sets and, making it more creative, but I have never had that in me. So that's been really interesting to see.
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense, Cobra. That makes sense because you've got a lot of creativity going into your channel right now, and it does make sense that you've had it all bottled up your whole life, and now all of a sudden that lid has popped off the bottle, and all your creativity. You've been able to actually go with it, and I can see you having a lot of fun with it, and that's that's one of the great things about yourselves. They're forever changing. They look absolutely incredible, and there's a lot of creativity that goes behind them, and I can tell you're going to use that effect a lot more going forwards because
I love it. I swear, I was just moving the camera around, and as I was doing it, I saw slightly coming out of his mouth, and I moved it a bit more, and it came out more, and I was like, wow, that just looks stunning. That looks absolutely stunning. And yeah, that will definitely be used again, or similar things. Now I know I can do it. I mean, I can make an ice dragon. I can do all sorts because I've got different color lights, and if I can get that effect again, using a blue light or using a white light or whatever, I just think that looks amazing right there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because people might not know that depending on the colour of a dragon, depends on what they spit out. Like, you know, some will spit fire, frost, acid, all different kinds. I love dragons.
Yeah, I know, bro. I know. I actually went down. We've got a Warhammer store near us, and I went down there to get some pieces. This was a few days back, or maybe a week back. And I walked in. The gentleman was really nice, and I said, "Look, I'll tell you straight. I used to play D&D when I was young. I was really into it. You know, I might have painted a few little soldiers and characters back in the day." I said, "But what I need now is a dragon." And he looked a bit confused because he realised that I wasn't actually playing Warhammer and having a whole setup of armies and all that lot. I just wanted one dragon.
Yeah.
So I had to explain to him that I do YouTube videos and I need it for a backdrop. But unfortunately, everything they had was kits. You had to make up these kits and paint it and all that.
Yes.
And I wasn't looking at spending that amount of time to do all that when all I really need it for is a backdrop. It wasn't for something I wanted to collect or I wanted to paint these and all that lot. It was literally, you see what I mean, right? That's what I'm talking about.
Do you know what? So I'll show what people mean when you say the kit. This is what COVID means, because this is one that I've not started yet. But when you get them, this is how they come. So yeah, they're all the little tiny individual pieces that you have to take off of these yourself.
And you
then
paint them separately, and then you put them all together. So I used to make Airfix models, the planes,
so cool.
back in the day. So they came exactly like that. So I knew exactly what was entailed. And I thought, I don't want to buy all the different paints and pots and, you know, the brushes and all that, the fine brush and the thicker brush and this and that and the other. I used to love to do it as a kid when I was younger, but I haven't got the time for that. I mean, I sit up in the middle of the night to do these, and then I'll be working and I get very little sleep. So I was looking for pre-made models and he just didn't have anything. And I was like, oh, mate. I was proper gutted because I thought Warhammer Place would definitely have it.
Yeah, no, you'd think they would have some, because there's more and more of a market for pre-made painted stuff, because Warhammer D&D is getting more popular. It's had a bit of a resurgence over the last couple of years, and there's a lot of people out there that have no interest in painting, and they just want the figures to play the game, and just want to buy them. I mean, me personally, I may come and paint them. But I know what you mean. When you're buying specific model paints and brushes, it starts getting expensive. They're not cheap, but yeah, to buy them for one model.
It does. Yeah, it can be very expensive. And as I say, I want it for backdrops. I don't want the whole hobby of painting right now. You know, I've got a big hobby of Lego, and I have got some unbelievable sets that I still have to build, and I haven't done them because I just haven't got time. You know, so I wasn't going to introduce something else that's going to take up even more time.
No, I get it, mate. That's why that one's still in the box unmade, and that's why most of the other ones haven't been painted yet. They've been made up but not painted, and it's finding the time to get there. And it's also it's a very fiddly hobby. It gets so infuriating because it's hard for me. I've got my fingers aren't designed for that kind of time. Yeah, and you know, once you've been doing that for an hour or so, your eyes, your back hurts because you scrunched up, like concentrating. Your fingers hurt, your arms hurt, everything hurts. And my friend was telling me how he wanted to get into it, and he was going to love spending all these hours painting. I said to him, reality of it, mate, you aren't going to love it. It's going to be a chore. But when you're done and you look at
the end product,
yeah, it makes it all worth it, especially the ones I've made myself. You know, you've seen my little cottage, haven't you?
I did, yeah. I saw a couple of bits, yeah.
You had
the dragon out there. You had the dragon once, which was out there, didn't you? Which you had painted.
Yes, that one I painted myself. I put it together, glued it together, and painted myself. But some of the models I've actually fully made myself. I made 4 little. They were like elemental figures. So it was like air, water, fire, and earth.
fire, yeah.
Yeah. So I made a little rock man, a little tornado guy for air, and I made that out of blue tow rope. I just wound it together into like a hurricane cylinder kind of shape and gave it some arms. Yeah. I mean, I could grab them very quickly if you want to see them, but I think we're down.
Go for it.
All right. Well, okay. I'll be back in literally a minute, then.
Cool. Well, I'll talk to the 7 people who are watching. So this has been a really interesting live because it did start off very precious metally and bullion and this and that and the other, and then it really took a turn onto so many other subjects. So if you've only just joined us, or you've been listening to part of it, do sort of pop it on in the car and have a listen to it as you're going along on your way to work or anything else. They're really interesting chats. I'd love to know who's in the room now and who's watching. I know we've still got CPM and I think there was Elemental, someone, on a couple of others. But yeah, let's wait to see what he brings back on these models he's made himself, which is really interesting. So who else? Anyone else who was ever into these role-playing games, as in Dungeons and Dragons or Cyberpunk or anything like that? And if not, talking of Cyberpunk, there is a Cyberpunk coin coming out, which Backyard Bullion had on his channel, which I was really interested in because I did play Cyberpunk, which was a futuristic game. Every Cloud, that's it, Every Cloud. Hello, Every Cloud. Sorry I didn't say hello earlier. Or I might have. I can't even remember anymore. But yeah, I'm just sort of rambling off to myself now, which is interesting. But did anyone ever play any role-playing games when they were younger? And has... Oh, from Spain. Way, wicked. Hola. Tudo bem? Well, that's Portuguese, but still, they're similar. Cyberpunk was an amazing role-playing game where it was based in the future. You were an assassin, and as you killed your targets, you were given money, and you could actually bolt on missiles in your arm, or X-ray eyes, or lasers that came out your eyes, and all sorts of mechanical things. And if you bolted on too many, you'd start losing your humanity, and you would start going a bit crazy. So yeah, that was Cyberpunk. But yeah, role-playing games have been a massive thing for me when I was younger. And I don't know if anyone ever saw the card games Magic the Gathering, which came out of that, which actually I think Stack Collector would really like. A lot of dragons in that.
Yeah, I love them.
Hey.
I've been back ages, mate. I've been enjoying listening to
Oh,
you.
yeah. Oh, cheers.
Yeah.
I was rambling to myself, thinking I'm going to run out of things to say in a minute.
I was just letting you go. I was like, yeah, this is really interesting. Yeah, no, I love Magic the Gathering. I couldn't find. I don't know where I put those figures, and I didn't want to leave you for too long, buddy. So I thought I'll find them.
That's cool. Some other time. So, did you play Magic the Gathering?
It's not one I've got into too much myself. I played it a little bit when I was a kid, when I was younger. My brother was.
Do you know what the really sad thing is? When it first came out, I mean, very first came out, I started playing.
Yeah.
And I had some very rare old cards out of Magic the Gathering. And I had a suitcase which I partitioned off to hold all these things. And I had masses of each of the colours and all that sort of stuff. And I could make up some amazing fighting packs. And then I was moving or having a house clear out. And one of the people who was working for me, helping out, we had a skip. And he found this battered suitcase and just straight in the skip.
Oh,
and I only found out afterwards, and I was absolutely fuming because that was worth some extreme amount of money. No joke, because they were the original cards, which you can never get again.
Yeah, no, that is that hurts. Something similar happened to me. For me, it was my Warhammer, and I'm talking original 80s Warhammer lead figures. There's some plastic too, but dating back to the original lead figures that they start. I mean, the 80s, 90s Warhammer were crazy, especially the Orc figures. It was just a crazy time. It was a great time, and you can't get the same kind of figures as you could. And I also had an absolute stack of White Dwarf magazines, which was the Warhammer magazine. And
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, I was like, Dad, that store in the attic. What? And no, it disappeared years ago. And I'm like, what? No. His reaction was, his reaction, because he didn't understand, was, I'll just get you some more. I was like, Dad,
You can't.
do you
You can't
understand what that was worth? And I showed him, it was this one little, online, there was this one little group. It had one people carry like kind of tank thing in the back, and a little squad, and it was about $3,000. This one,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
just one, and I had like thousands of these figures and hundreds of these magazines, and I'm like, Dad, that's an actual fortune I've lost there, mate. You know, so
Oh
it is,
my
yeah, it is what it is. But it's same as you with your Magic the Gathering cards, mate. It's and I mean, the other thing is, my mum and dad are this really awful habit of hand me down in toys. Like, I would have wanted them going in the attic and getting saved, but I'd come back, like as a teenager, I'd come back from school and found out we'd gone through all my stuff and gave away all my old toys to my cousins, who make jokes about it now, about how that stuff is still in their attic.
Wow.
I'm like, well, yeah, that's great, isn't it? You know, I never said it was okay for you to have it, and it was mine. But I'd be quiet about that if I was you. But yeah, so it's great for them. I had like original '80s Ghostbuster toys, and they'd be worth a fortune now. I had the original Firefighter play set, and it was as tall as me when I was a kid. I had the original Ecto 1 car that we all went in, all the original figures. I had, oh wow, look at that. That's a good looking figure right there. But yeah, I had a lot of money's worth in figures. And this is something I will say to people, like, be careful before you throw your kids' toys away. You could be throwing away an absolute fortune.
Well, this is the thing. We never realised, did we really, that these sort of toys could have been worth so much money now.
Yeah.
And there are toy fairs and all that lot, and the sort of money that exchanges hands
Yeah.
on some of these things is amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, I think it's one of the biggest collectible markets of them out there. Toys, it's just it's stupidly big. It's much bigger than collectible coins. It's ridiculous, and some of the things that some of these old toys fetch is astronomical. It's one of those things where you constantly left kicking yourself because of the amount of metal Thunderbirds craft that would be worth nowadays. See, I'm just pointing me in the chat there, I can see. But if you think back to all the toys that would be worth a fortune now that you got rid of, it's unfortunate, isn't it?
No, but you just don't realise at the time, as a kid, you definitely don't realise, you play with them. Even these figures here, what I've got here in front of you now, these are collectibles. Now, I've opened them out of the pack and all that, and I know that I should have kept those packs pristine. I've got the outer packaging, I've still got it. But because I've opened it, if I had just left it totally closed, these would build in value, I'm sure. And they're a massive set. They're actually really nice. Like, there's a load more creatures, which I will get. I'll pick up slowly. But if I really wanted value, I should never have taken it out of the set, out of the packaging. But for what I need it for, I needed to do that, so it's all right.
Yeah, no, exactly, and it's a fantastic set. It really is, and something that would come in a lot of very handy in a game of D&D.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I got so excited because going back to the Warhammer thing, I was like, right, well, what collectibles have I got from when I was younger? Then let's find out. And one thing I did find was I had a load of dinosaur figures, like very similar to that kind of thing in size, etc. And I I was at least able to find all of those. So I was really happy about that, because I decided to myself I could make a Jurassic Park based TTRPG, and that would be the coolest thing ever. So it's one of those things. But I watch things about like collectible toys. It's not something I particularly. I certainly don't look to buy toys to collect. figurines aren't toys. They're something different. So I will buy figurines, but yeah, no, I think it's a good hobby.
Yeah, yeah. Ah, cool. So, getting off the old toys we used to play with,
Yeah,
the role-playing fantasy games.
yeah.
What's left to talk about?
Well, I think we've pretty much put the world to rights today, haven't we, mate?
I think we have.
Definitely. And I've got a few things to do. I've got a few jobs on tomorrow. So yeah, if there's anything else you want to chat about before we call it a night, mate, do it now, or we'll start wrapping things up.
Well, I'll show you one more thing I've just done. Let's see if it's come out all right. I might have to put the glass case back on it, but
Oh wow!
yeah.
Oh,
Looks
that
good.
looks awesome. Just look very quickly.
Yeah.
Sorry, going back onto toys very quickly. I found something out recently which I totally forgot I had. Don't know if it's worth it, but yeah, the old McDonald's Happy Meal toys. Now it's obviously dinged
Oh
up.
my god! Yeah.
This little guy, but it's like Beano kind of. What do you do?
Yeah.
He
Oh mate, which one was
Remember-
that? I can't remember his name.
I don't know the names. I've only got a teacher dude there, and then you've got. Oh, this was Roger and Dodger. This
Yeah.
Dennis and Menace, wasn't it? Kind of thing.
Absolutely brilliant. Well,
Yeah.
that's another thing, but you won't see it until the next Star Wars coin is pulled out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know whether it was you or CPM I was talking to, and it was about you. You remember the Pez?
Yes, it was me. The Pez dispensers. Yes.
Yeah. Well, out in London, they have these American sweet shops and all that lot, and there are so many Pez out there now. You know, and people must still collect them or whatever. And I picked up a couple of Star Wars Pez just to use on my next, you know, the next backdrop for when the next Star Wars coin comes out. Look at that Mickey Mouse puppet.
Yeah, it's another McDonald's giveaway toy.
You know what the really funny thing is? We have such intellectual conversations, me and you, right? Absolutely brilliant intellectual conversations, and then it turns out to have a little puppet of Mickey Mouse, finger puppet. You know, like there's a bit of a contrast there, isn't there?
Well, you got to have something for everybody, haven't you, mate? You know. I love it. Talking about CBDs, etc. Going to
Yeah.
dancing about with a little sock puppet from Mickey Mouse.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, well, I'll find those figures out that I can find today. Show you another time. And yeah, no, Cobra, thank you so much for popping over today. I was going to. I'll tell you what I was going to do if I didn't have anyone to go. I was going to do a live coin, well, kind of a coin hunt, because I've got all my old farthings here. I think they're George VI. No, they're George V. Those ones, and I was going to go through those and put them into order. So I'll do that sometime soon. But no, thanks you again.
I'm glad we linked up on this one. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thank you so much for inviting me on. I've really enjoyed today's live, and I think it is a phenomenal one to listen back to in the car, or you know, as a podcasty type thing as well.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for allowing me to join you.
No problem. No problem at all, Cobra. It is always a pleasure to have you on, mate, and have a chat with you, buddy. Yeah, I'm. As soon as we get off, I'm going to make it private because we had a little bit of an intro problem starting, so I've got to just edit that out. But I'll definitely get this live back on as a video within the next few days for people to rewatch if they want to. But thank you again for coming across, Cobra. Thank you again for everybody. Sorry, CP. I've just seen. I've just split my stitches. CP.
Oh, shit.
So we'll end. We're causing injury at this point, so it's a great place. Thank you so much to everybody who has come across to join us in the live chat.
And to those who have been there all the way through, if there's any of the 6 people watching now, thank you so much for sticking around for what, 3 hours 25 minutes roughly. Absolutely amazing. And for those who even popped in and out, you know, everyone's busy. Some people have gone off to work and all that lot. So it really is appreciated. It really, really is.
No, it absolutely is. You couldn't have said it any better at all, Cobra, mate. And yeah, anyone who's been for the whole show, wow, how have you done that? But yeah, anybody who has just been able to pop in for a little while, it's been amazing having you all here. And as I say, if anyone does want to catch up and watch the rest, even if it is over. Over a few days, it will be back on the channel shortly. So that is it from me for now. Cobra, unless you've got anything else to add?
No, I'm good. Thank you. That's all I can say. I've really enjoyed this one. So thank you very much.
Right. That's cool. And if that's the case, I will end it by saying take care of each other. Keep stacking. Take care. And goodbye. Take care,
Cobra Stacker signing out of the Cobra's Den.
Awesome. Bye-bye.